Chapter 367. A Genius Remembers Love in 1 Second? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Master, I have to travel everywhere in the future. Even if I can get the 8-dragon cauldron to recognize me as its master, I can't go there, Knight Sorrow said. He didn't want to be held back by the 8-dragon cauldron. If you can get the 8-dragon cauldron to recognize you as its master, you can do whatever you want. It's nothing. You are a disciple of the Medicine Valley. When the Medicine Valley needs you, it's good enough that you can help. Hua Yunpeng appeared with the Great Elder and a few others beside him. Everyone knew about the teleportation array and wanted to come and take a look. Greetings, Valley Master. Hua Yunpeng and the others bowed to Yu Yangyu. You're welcome. Yu Yangyu waved his hand and energy appeared to help everyone up. The Medicine Valley also has a teleportation array. 13, you've made a great contribution again. The Great Elder looked at Knight Sorrow and said, I will try my best to do what I can for the sect. Knight Sorrow bowed and said, It's not just this teleportation array. Look at this. Yu Yangyu stretched out his right hand and the golden flame palace that was originally small in his hands suddenly became bigger and turned into a pavilion, shining with golden light in the air. After everyone saw it clearly, Yu Yangyu waved his hand and took back the golden flame palace. This is the golden flame palace, the spiritual weapon of the golden flame sect? The Great Elder looked at Yu Yangyu in shock and asked. That's right. 13 gave it to me a few days ago. This spiritual tool has a very strong auxiliary effect. Later, when I set it up properly, everyone will be able to figure it out, said Lu Yangyu. This is practical. The 8-dragon cauldron is the signature of our Medicine Valley, but we haven't been able to control it. It's an awkward problem. Now that we have this, it's great. The Great Elder patted Knight Sorrow's shoulder and said. So, Knight Sorrow, as long as you can make the 8-dragon cauldron recognize you as its master, you can go without worry. Your path may be outside, but remember that Medicine Valley is your home, Hua Yunpeng said. Yes, the value of the teleportation formation and the Golden Flame Palace is immeasurable. 13, if you can contribute to the sect without asking for anything in return, the sect can do the same for you, Yu Yangyu said to Knight Sorrow. Thank you, Master. Thank you, Elders. Knight Sorrow bowed. Our Medicine Valley is going to hold another Venerable One celebration. How about this? Knight Sorrow, you and your 9th senior sister will accompany me to the Thunder Rumbling sect, the Southern Dipper sect, and the Free and Unfettered sect. A few days ago, didn't the Free and Unfettered sect want to snatch our territory? Why invite them? Yang Lei said with dissatisfaction. How do I explain this situation? No one wants to let go of the opportunity to expand their territory. We can't push them into the enemy camp because of this. Hua Yunpeng said to Yang Lei. Also, the Holy Light sect and the Star Cloud sect will also go. It's fine if they come, but it's also convenient if they don't come. The Great Elder thought for a moment and said. This disciple's qualifications are low. Isn't it inappropriate for this disciple to go? Knight Sorrow said. He felt that he was a new second-generation disciple and was not suitable to go to the major sects to invite people. You're not suitable. You are now the signature of our Medicine Valley. As long as you agree, you are now the successor of the Valley Master, the young Valley Master, Hua Yunpeng said. I'm sorry, Elders. This disciple just wants to cultivate in peace, Knight Sorrow said apologetically. As soon as Knight Sorrow's words came out, the eyes of the Great Elder and the other elders behind him darkened. They were indeed a little disappointed because Knight Sorrow didn't care about these things. They really wanted to support Knight Sorrow to the position of young Valley Master. Let's not talk about this. Everyone, where is the best place to arrange the Golden Flame Palace? Yu Yangyu changed the topic. I think it should be placed next to the transmission hall that is about to be built. In the future, this place will be the core of the Medicine Valley. The square here should be infinitely expanded. Danding City needs to be properly expanded and become a super city in the Eastern Profound Domain, Hua Yunpeng said. There's one more thing. I'm about to step down. Elders, please choose a new valley master, Yu Yang Yu said. That's not appropriate. The previous strategy is not suitable now. The Medicine Valley is in an important period of development. Stability is the most important thing. It will be better to have a venerable valley master to guard the situation. As for the problem of nurturing talents, we can choose a successor and let him come to Danding Peak to handle things, the great elder said directly. Then, near the transmission formation, the higher-ups of the Medicine Valley held a meeting. In the end, they decided to choose Gong Xian and Chu Lingxiao to be the Vice Valley Masters of Danding Peak, Yi Shuai of Wuwei Peak to be the Peak Master of Nine Peak, and Wu Qi to take over as the Peak Master of Danding Peak. This was a relatively large staff arrangement. With this arrangement, it also meant that the younger generation of the Medicine Valley had officially taken over. You little brat, you're just mud that can't support a wall. Xian Wu glared at Yi Shang with dissatisfaction. His eyes were full of disappointment. All the elders of the Medicine Valley thought highly of Night Sorrow, but Night Sorrow was unwilling. After the meeting of the higher-ups of the Medicine Valley, Yu Yang Yu placed the Golden Flame Palace next to the transmission formation and started the construction of the transmission hall. All the elders went to work. Danding City was going to be expanded. The area around the square had to be demolished. Even the city master's mansion had to make way for the construction of the square. Night Sorrow and Sikong Chuyu rode Tianyu to the Dragon Spring courtyard. Yang Lei didn't come back with them. She was the city master of Danding City and had a lot of things to take care of. Night Sorrow, are you relieved now? The Medicine Valley has truly gained a foothold in the eastern Xian domain, Sikong Chuyu whispered as he sat on Tianyu's back and hugged Night Sorrow's waist. Yes, I am relieved. I just want to reach the 5th rank as soon as possible. I don't know how long it will take to reach the 5th rank. Once I reach the 5th rank, I will go to the Qingtian domain with you. I will ask Ji Yu's family to return Father Gu's arm, Night Sorrow said coldly. Okay, I will go with you then, Sikong Chuyu said. Translator, Endless Fantasy Translation Editor, Endless Fantasy Translation, in the future, I will go to the Taiqing domain. I must find my family. Even if I can't find them, I will make the people who attacked the Night Moon Empire pay the price. Even if I am alone, I will fight. Night Sorrow said. Night Sorrow, those are top empires. They are all colossi. You can't act recklessly. Also, are you sure that you are a descendant of the Night Moon Empire? Sikong Chuyu was stunned when she heard Night Sorrow's words. Senior Lei Hua said that my bloodline energy contains the power of space, but he can't be completely sure. I know what's going on because my attribute is the void attribute, which suppresses the power of space. I know that I am a descendant of the Night Moon Empire. I don't care if my opponents are colossi. They attacked the Night Moon Empire, so I will kill them back. Only then will I be worthy of the blood of the Yi clan flowing in my body, Night Sorrow said. Sikong Chuyu nodded. She knew that she would be worried and scared in the coming days, but this was the Night Sorrow she liked, the Night Sorrow. Chapter 368. Genius 1 second. Remember love divided by go divided by little? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. I understand. Even if Night Moon Dynasty doesn't return, you can still fight for a brand new world, Sikong Chuyu said. A man should strive for self-improvement. Life doesn't stop, and battles don't stop. I'm just ashamed of Medicine Valley's nurturing of me, Night Sorrow said as he looked in the direction of Danding City. They may be a little disappointed, but they won't blame you. They also hope that you can become famous, Sikong Chuyu said as he looked up at Night Sorrow. I'm sorry. Back then, I didn't know about my background. I didn't know that I had a mission, so I liked you. However, I won't let you go. As long as I'm alive, I won't let you suffer. Yi Shang looked at Sikong Chuyu in his arms and said. Not afraid of any strong enemy and daring to fight against the world. That's you. I understand. Don't say sorry. Hug me. Sikong Chuyu murmured. After returning to Longquan Courtyard, Night Sorrow fed Tianyu and played with Silver Fox for a while. Then, Night Sorrow began to practice his spear techniques. As his cultivation increased, Night Sorrow's spear techniques became more powerful. Every thrust of the spear had a piercing sound. The energy produced ripples that rippled in all directions. Night Sorrow cultivated for 4 hours. After he stopped, he drank tea and chatted with Sikong Chuyu, who had also stopped cultivating. Love go little say W. Chu, my ripple force still feels a little lacking, Sikong Chuyu, who had also been cultivating for a while, said. Take this and study it first. Night Sorrow handed the box containing the water attribute stone to Sikong Chuyu. Don't you still need it? Sikong Chuyu opened the box and asked. I originally planned to give it to you after the matter was settled, but who knows when Tianji Tower would want to borrow it. It'll be yours sooner or later. You can use it first. You can return it to me when I need it. Although it's a medium to enter the Saint Realm, it's good for you to comprehend it in advance. Night Sorrow said with a smile. All right then. When you need it, come and get it from me. I can increase my combat strength by comprehending it in advance. If I can grasp the laws, there will be no bottlenecks when I take that step in the future. Sikong Chuyu nodded and put away the water elemental origin stone. After chatting with Sikong Chuyu for a while, Night Sorrow continued to cultivate. Night Sorrow had been cultivating here for 7 or 8 days when Yang Lei came, saying that she wanted to leave for another sect. Night Sorrow looked at Sikong Chuyu and said, Chuyu, it's inconvenient for you to follow us. Just stay at home and cultivate. Okay, be careful and come back early, Sikong Chuyu said. Night Sorrow and Yang Lei nodded at Sikong Chuyu, then drove Tianyu away from Longquan Courtyard. Yang Lei, who was sitting next to Night Sorrow, said, 13, I guess you won't be able to rest this time. The venerable celebration ceremony is an inevitable event. You'll have to fight again. Night Sorrow said with a smile, it's nothing this time. There shouldn't be any life and death battles. I'm very happy. I suddenly feel that the future is very beautiful. There's no crisis in the Medicine Valley, and Master has entered the Venerable Realm. The rest of the days are sweet. When things settle down, I'll give birth to a baby for you. Yang Lei said. Let's wait until we've stabilized. Night Sorrow hugged Yang Lei and said. Night Sorrow did not have such plans. He still had a lot of things to do. It could be said that he could be in danger at any time. He did not want his children to be like him, without their parents by their side. When he arrived above Danding City, Yishang saw that the city had changed greatly. The square in the center of the city covered a large area with a radius of 7 to 8 miles. There were 2 halls in the middle, one was the Golden Flame Hall, and the other was the Teleportation Hall. The entrance of the Teleportation Hall was guarded by the elders of the Medicine Valley. Baidu search AI go female sign shao say www.aichuxs. Com. The other thing was the demolition and reconstruction. The new city lord's mansion had already reached a certain scale. In addition, the location of the Tianji Tower had been changed. A group of craftsmen were also busy. Let's go to my mansion. The Great Elder is waiting for us there, Yang Lei said to Night Sorrow. In Yang Lei's mansion, the Great Elder was giving instructions to Bai Qingshan and Aoyukuan. Yang Lei is the city lord, but she's also a woman. You two should worry about everything, especially the reconstruction of Danding City. The Medicine Valley will compensate you if you need it. Development is important, but you can't put the cart before the horse and cause complaints everywhere, the Great Elder said to Bai Qingshan and Aoyukuan. You're here. Have you prepared anything? If not, let's go, the Great Elder stood up and said. There's nothing to prepare, said Yishan. Then let's go. You two remember to pay attention to the construction around the square. If there's any problem, report to the Valley Lord at the Golden Flame Hall, the Great Elder said and led Night Sorrow and Yang Lei to the Teleportation Hall. Night Sorrow did not know the Elder guarding the Teleportation Hall. The Elder bowed to the Great Elder. Pay attention to the safety of this place. This is our foundation. If there's any problem, activate the restriction of the Golden Flame Hall immediately. The Great Elder reminded them again and walked to the teleportation hall. When they left, they bypassed the killing array and illusion array set up by He Shang. The teleportation hall was at the innermost part of the teleportation hall. If they wanted to enter the teleportation hall, they had to pass through the area protected by the array. Seeing the Great Elder and the other two enter the teleportation hall, the elder guarding the teleportation hall installed a mid-grade crystal in the slot of the teleportation hall. As the crystal glowed, the teleportation hall started operating. The space started to blur and the feeling of dizziness appeared in Night Sorrow's mind again. However, it didn't take long before the energy stabilized. The three of them cupped their fists at the black iron guard and walked out of the teleportation hall. A different aura. This is the #1 city of the Eastern Profound Domain, the Great Elder said with emotion. Great Elder, should we go to the other sects directly or stay in Dongxian City for a while? Night Sorrow asked. 7L Peace, let's stop for a while. I want to see Elder Chu in your house and see how you are doing in Dongxian City. The Great Elder knew about Night Sorrow's matter, so he planned to go to Night Sorrow's place to have a look. Sitting on a flying beast, the three of them arrived at the Medicine Valley station. Seeing the Great Elder, Elder Chu was stunned for a moment. Great Elder, why are you here? I'm here to see you. In addition, I want to inform you that the Medicine Valley's venerable celebration will be held in 2 months. Elder Chu, you should also go back. The Great Elder found a place to sit down and said. Venerable celebration. Our Medicine Valley has another venerable? Elder Chu, who was originally very surprised to see the Great Elder, was even more surprised. Yes, the Valley Master has entered the Venerable Realm. In addition, our Medicine Valley has completely taken over the Golden Flame Sex area and officially become one of the 7 superpowers of the Eastern Profound Domain. Let someone else take care of this place. Elder Chu, you should go back and rest for a few days, the Great Elder said. Okay, this is a good thing, a great thing. I will definitely go back, Elder Chu said excitedly. Elder Chu, let's go to my residence and have a drink together? Night Sorrow asked with a smile. Chapter 369. Genius 1 second. Remember love divided by go divided by little? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Don't worry. Our Medicine Valley now has a transmission array. It will only take a moment to go back to the Medicine Valley. In addition, send some medium-level spirit stones back to the Medicine Valley. The Medicine Valley has a transmission array, so it needs a lot of medium-level spirit stones. The Great Elder said. Transmission array. Our Medicine Valley also has a transmission array. This is great. It will be much easier for us to transport elixirs in the future. We don't have many upper-level spirit stones in our store, but we still have a lot of medium-level spirit stones. Elder Chu said excitedly. As the person in charge of the Medicine Valley in Dongxian City, he certainly knew the significance of the transmission array. While chatting, the group arrived at Night Sorrow's Qingxin cottage. Seeing Night Sorrow coming, Ning Yun ran directly to Night Sorrow's side. Uncle, you're back. I missed you. Good girl. Brother Ning, sister-in-law, this is our Medicine Valley's Great Elder and Elder Chu. Night Sorrow introduced them to each other. Ning Qingfeng and Han Lin greet the two seniors. Ning Qingfeng and Han Lin both bowed to salute. No need to be so polite. Elder Chu helped them up. Then Night Sorrow took the Great Elder and Elder Chu to the backyard and made tea. Yang Lei and Han Lin took the maidservants to prepare food and wine. That person is good. He has a solid foundation. The Great Elder had a good impression of Ning Qingfeng. Love Go Little Say Kunite Sorrow told the story of how he met Ning Qingfeng. The Great Elder nodded. You did a good job. Heroes also have times when they are in trouble. If you can help them, you should help them. Your house is good. The price of this area is not low. The people of the City Lord's mansion introduced me to it. Night Sorrow did not hide it and directly told the story of buying the house. Very good, very good. It seems that you should really explore more. The outside world is more suitable for you, the Great Elder said with some emotion. Soon, Yang Lei and the others prepared a table full of food and wine. 13. Call everyone over to eat together. There's no need to be so formal, the Great Elder said. Night Sorrow called Ning Qingfeng's family, Uncle Feng, and Aunt Feng. As for the two maidservants, they were afraid and did not dare to come over. Night Sorrow did not force them. Since we're all under the same roof, there's no need for formalities. Night Sorrow is still young and needs to be taken care of, the First Elder said to Ning Qingfeng. You're too polite, First Elder. Ning Qingfeng bowed to the First Elder. After eating, Ning Qingfeng and Han Lin took the child back to the front yard. Elder Chu, I'll take them to the other sects later and invite the guests to the Medicine Valley to attend the venerable celebration. As for you, see if there are any stores left. If there are, buy them. After the Golden Flame sect was destroyed, there should be some stores for sale. If you need money, go back to the Medicine Valley to get it, the Grand Elder said to Elder Chu. Okay, I'll do it now. Elder Chu nodded and left without hesitation. 13. Your house is not bad. You have a foothold in Dongxian City, but there are all kinds of people here. You have to be careful, the First Elder looked at Night Sorrow and said. Don't worry, First Elder. 13 is now the law enforcer of the Black Iron Guards in Dongxian City. Who dares to be a law enforcer? They don't want their heads anymore, Yang Lei said with a smile. That's good. The First Elder nodded. Night Sorrow then arranged a guest room for the First Elder and left the house. He wanted to visit the Tianji Tower. When Night Sorrow arrived at the Tianji Tower, it was completely different from before. Now, there was someone to receive him and take Night Sorrow directly to the top floor. On the top floor, Night Sorrow saw Lei Hua. You're here. How's the Medicine Valley? Lei Hua pointed at the chair opposite him and asked Night Sorrow to sit down. It's going well. Thank you, Deputy Tower Master. Night Sorrow bowed and sat down. That's good. It'll be convenient for you to travel between the two places in the future, Lei Hua said. Night Sorrow took out 2 jars of wine and handed one of them to Lei Hua. Then, he opened his own jar. Night Sorrow doesn't know how to be polite. Anyway, thank you very much, sir. Let's drink first. I'll take you to see someone later, Lei Hua said. My look, positive I version, I chapter 2 section $7 on Y+, okay, I might have to leave tomorrow, Night Sorrow said. Didn't you just come? Why are you leaving again? Lei Hua asked, puzzled. My master has entered the Venerable Realm and wants to hold a celebration ceremony. He wants to invite the people of the Thunder Rumbling sect and the Southern Dipper sect to attend the ceremony. Our sect's Great Elder asked me to go with him to inform them. Night Sorrow told Lei Hua the situation. Your Medicine Valley has another Venerable. This is very fast. It's a rising trend. Okay. We'll leave now. This won't delay your matters, Lei Hua stood up and said. Lei Hua took Night Sorrow to the top of the building. Then, with a wave of his arm, energy wrapped around Night Sorrow and began to fly. If it had been in the past, Night Sorrow would have been very shocked. However, he was not surprised now. Lei Hua and Yin Shui had killed the Venerable of the Golden Flame sect without suffering any damage, which proved their strength. Venerables did not need mounts unless they were in a long journey or were not in a hurry. After 10 minutes, Lei Hua took Night Sorrow to the top of a tall mountain. At the top of the mountain, Night Sorrow saw Wu Lingfei sitting cross-legged. Wu Lingfei was still the same. She was dressed in pure white tights with a long robe on the outside and a veil covering her face. My lord. Night Sorrow has arrived. Lei Hua bowed and said. Okay. You can go back first. Wu Lingfei nodded and said. Lei Hua bowed again to Wu Lingfei and nodded to Night Sorrow before leaving. You're the owner of Chinji Tower? Night Sorrow asked in shock. That's right. I've told Leihua about your background. After some analysis, I think you should be a descendant of the Yue clan. The reason why your spatial power isn't obvious is because it's suppressed by your void attribute, Wu Lingfei said. I've troubled you, my lord. Night Sorrow bowed and said. 8 levels of spirit severing, surging blood chi, forming essence chi smoke. You've cultivated faster than I expected. Not bad. Wu Lingfei looked at Night Sorrow and nodded. I'm still very grateful to my lord for taking care of Medicine Valley. Night Sorrow said. I used to have some friendship with an emperor of the Night Moon dynasty. You've also helped me a few times, so there's no need to be too polite. I've been thinking about the Night Moon Space Rend these days. Space Rend is not a secret technique. The reason it belongs to the Night Moon dynasty is because others can't cultivate it. Wu Lingfei said. Are there no space attribute cultivators in the 9 realms and 18 states? They can't cultivate it? Night Sorrow asked. They can't. Night Moon's family bloodline's explosive power is the key. People with space attribute can at most use the Space Rend /, which is different from Space Rend. This is the Space Rend that I've researched from the Wind Element / and the Space Rend /. It may be different from the Night Moon Dynasty Space Rend, but it's not much different. Take a look and see if you can use your bloodline's power. Wu Lingfei took out a beast skin and threw it to Night Sorrow. Chapter 370. Genius 1 second. Remember love go/little. Here's a wonderful novel for you to read. Night Sorrow studied the ancient books and matched them with himself. There were many normal elemental battle skills, such as wind elemental /, ice elemental /, space splitting /, and so on. However, they all came from the hands and could only be used through the Laogong acupoint in the palm. However, Night Moon Dynasty's space split was different. It controlled the bloodline talent to rush out from the dragon bone and the back of the neck and directly attack the target. The higher the cultivation, the stronger the attack. Night Sorrow studied the route of energy flow and the method of exerting force before starting to cultivate. True Qi stimulated the energy points under the dragon bone. Then, Night Sorrow controlled the bloodline talent to circulate through the veins under the dragon bone. It rose from the dragon bone and rushed out from the Shindao acupoint. Then, it slashed at a nearby rock. Pa! The stone the size of a human head was cut in half as if it was cut by a knife. It seems my judgment was correct. I just took a look. You only used 1 energy point. It's not bad to have this kind of effect. I just don't know how many energy points you have. Wu Lingfei interrupted Night Sorrow's cultivation. 7. Right now, I can only activate 1 of them. As for the other energy points, no matter how I activate them, there's no reaction, Night Sorrow said. 7 energy points. So many. Activating the bloodline talent requires a secret method. I don't know what Night Moon Dynasty's secret method, but according to the principle of cultivation, activating energy of the same origin will be better. That is to say, use the energy points you can control to activate the other hidden energy points. Wu Lingfei said to Night Sorrow. Thank you, Senior. Night Sorrow will remember. Night Sorrow nodded. Take your time to familiarize yourself with it. The Night Moon Dynasty's spatial tier will only show its power after reaching the 5th step, which means you can cultivate soul force. The effect of your cultivation right now is not very strong. I want you to cultivate this because I want to confirm your origin. Now, I am 100% sure that you are a descendant of the Night Moon Dynasty, Wu Lingfei said. Junior understands. I will cultivate diligently in the future. Night Sorrow looked at the broken stone and said. Go. Enter the 5th level as soon as possible, but don't be greedy. Wu Lingfei waved to Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow released Tianyu, but he didn't know how to fly. He didn't know where Dongxian City was. Keep flying south. If you encounter an enemy you can't fight, take out my token and crush the soul pearl I gave you. Love go go say chu wu ling fei reminded Night Sorrow again. Night Sorrow took out 2 jugs of 100 herb wine and placed them on the ground. He then left with Tianyu in a flash. After half an hour, Night Sorrow returned to Dongxian City. Tianyu then flew for a while before returning to the house. After making arrangements for Tianyu, Night Sorrow returned to the main building. Where have you been all this time? Look at the sky. It's already midnight. I'm so worried. Yang Lei, who was sitting in the hall, said. I went to see the Vice Palace Master. Vice Palace Master Lei brought me to see another person. Night Sorrow told her what happened today. It's a good thing to be able to confirm your origin. Also, you obtained a secret technique. This is very rare. Yang Lei said. Yes. You must have been waiting for a long time. Let's go and rest. Night Sorrow held Yang Lei's hand and said. Yang Lei blushed and nodded. Smiling at Yang Lei, Night Sorrow bent down and carried Yang Lei to the bedroom. In the bedroom, he placed Yang Lei on the bed and Night Sorrow lit the lamp. Looking at Yang Lei's beautiful face, Night Sorrow sat beside Yang Lei. He held Yang Lei in his arms and gently kissed her. Chapter ZS Chapter GNG section of the 4th edition. T-Suck * Yang Lei hugged Night Sorrow's neck and kissed him back. Night Sorrow gently pulled open the belt of Yang Lei's skirt and slowly took off Yang Lei's skirt, followed by her underwear. A moment later, a beautiful jade-like body appeared in Night Sorrow's sight. Yang Lei gently leaned on Night Sorrow's body, not letting Night Sorrow take a closer look. Night Sorrow also took off his robe, then turned and stood in front of Yang Lei. Standing between Yang Lei's jade legs, he slowly moved closer to Yang Lei. With a soft moan from Yang Lei, the two tightly leaned against each other. The sound of panting and moaning echoed in the room. After a long time, the storm gradually stopped. 13. You're too strong. Did you cultivate that outer chapter? Yang Lei leaned in Night Sorrow's arms and asked. I really didn't. I forgot about it. I'll take a look at it later. After hearing Yang Lei's reminder, Night Sorrow remembered that when he entered the consolidation realm, he could strengthen his body in a special area. You really want to kill me? My body is already strong enough, but you almost tore it apart, Yang Lei whispered. I couldn't control myself just now. I'll be more careful in the future and be gentler. It's mainly because Ninth Senior Sister's seduction is too strong. As he said this, Night Sorrow pushed Yang Lei down again. That night, the two barely slept. After dawn, the two washed up and went out of the main building. In the garden, the Great Elder was looking at Tianyu. 13. Your mount is very strong, the Great Elder said when he saw the two of them come over. Tianyu is indeed very strong. The main thing is that he can understand me. When there's a battle, he cooperates very well with me, Night Sorrow said. Then, Aunt Feng brought the servant girl to deliver breakfast to the backyard. This place is not bad. Although it's in a big city, it's very quiet and suitable for cultivation. The Great Elder looked at the yard and nodded. After breakfast, the three of them left the house and rushed to the teleportation formation. After paying the mid-grade crystals, the Black Iron Guard asked about their identities and allowed them to teleport. The first stop was the Southern Dipper sect. After all, the Medicine Valley had the best relationship with the Southern Dipper sect. After arriving at the teleportation formation in Star Do City, the three of them were interrogated again. After the Great Elder explained his identity and purpose, the three of them were brought to the City Lord's manor to rest. At the same time, the news was sent to the Southern Dipper sect's headquarters. 2 hours later, Nanjun Yuan arrived. The Great Elder came personally. Forgive the Southern Dipper sect for not being a good host. Let's go to the Heaven Dome Mountain headquarters. Nanjun Yuan cupped his hands toward the Great Elder. The Great Elder nodded. You're too polite, South Hall Master. Night Sorrow greets South Hall Master. Night Sorrow bowed. Night Sorrow and Elder Yang are both here. Night Sorrow, your cultivation speed is too fast. A year and a half ago, you were at the peak of the essence gathering stage. Now, you're almost at the peak of the spirit severing stage. Nan Jinyuan was very shocked when he noticed Night Sorrow's cultivation. You're too kind, South Hall Master. Night Sorrow smiled and returned the greeting. All right, let's go to Heaven Do Mountain. The Medicine Valley has guests. We must receive them well, Nan Jinyuan said. Then, the three of them got on the flying beast and flew toward Heaven Do Mountain. Chapter 371. A Genius Remembers Love in 1 Second? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Night Sorrow is nothing compared to the saintess of the Southern Dipper sect, said Night Sorrow. Haha. Night Sorrow, I haven't seen you in a while. You've become more experienced. That's not like you, said Nan Jinyuan as he turned to look at Night Sorrow. 13, we're allies with the Southern Dipper sect. You don't have to be so formal, said the Great Elder to Night Sorrow. Did you hear what the Great Elder said? You don't have to be so formal. Just be casual. It's not easy to come here. Stay a little longer and interact with the disciples of the Southern Dipper sect, said Nan Jinyuan to the Great Elder and Night Sorrow. I'm afraid I can't this time. I still have some things to do. I'm here to invite your sect to our Medicine Valley's venerable celebration. I have to go back later. There are still many things to deal with, said the Great Elder. FYX Yongs forever too. Free look, Little Tick says, a venerable celebration? Which senior has entered the venerable realm? Asked Nan Jinyuan in surprise. Our Valley Master broke through to the venerable realm some time ago, so I'm here to inform him, said the Great Elder. Okay. When is the time? We'll leave early, asked Nan Jinyuan. No need to rush. The Golden Flame Sect's teleportation formation is now in Danding City. We took it from Dongxian City, said the Great Elder. That's much more convenient. I'll ask around later to see if there are any extra space crystals. Then, I'll discuss with my superiors. If possible, we'll set up a teleportation formation for each other, said Nan Jinyuan. He couldn't make the decision himself. He had to report it to his superiors. Okay. We still have space crystals in the Medicine Valley's teleportation formation. If possible, we'll set up a teleportation formation for each other, said the Great Elder with a nod. Nan Jinyuan arranged for the Great Elder and Night Sorrow to stay in the VIP building. Then, he went to communicate with the sect. The Medicine Valley had taken over all the territories of the Golden Flame sect, and a second venerable had appeared. This was a big deal. While the three were resting, Night Sorrow, Nan Sheng came. Night Sorrow was Night Sorrow. Now that Night Sorrow had arrived at the Southern Dipper sect, he naturally had to pay him a visit. When he saw Yi Shang, Nan Sheng was shocked. He was a level 6 core condensation cultivator, but he couldn't see through Yi Shang's cultivation. However, out of courtesy, he didn't ask. He was just acting as a host. The Southern Dipper sect and the Medicine Valley were allies. Allies were divided into different levels as well. The lower levels merely did not attack each other. Jinyuan has already told us about the situation in the Medicine Valley. What do you all think? Asked the old man sitting in the main seat in the Nanda Hall. He was Nan Zifen, the master of the Nanda sect. The rise of the Medicine Valley is unstoppable. The two venerables and the teleportation portal are no different from the other superpowers. Most importantly, their external relations are worthy of our Southern Dipper sect to form a deep alliance with them, an elder said. What do you think, Elder Ziyun? Nan Zifen looked at the elder on his right. It was Nan Ziyun, the law enforcement elder of the Southern Dipper sect. I have no objections. The Medicine Valley's current network is very complicated. The forces that annihilated the disciples of the Golden Flame sect and the Scarlet Cloud sect are too terrifying. No force can afford to offend them. In addition, the two venerables, Su Huantian and Old Ghost John, were killed without a sound. These are the most terrifying problems. Nan Ziyun opened his mouth and said. That's right, Nan Zian said. Nan Ziffin stood up and said, then we'll treat each other according to the highest standards of an ally. This time, Elder Zian will lead a team to the Medicine Valley and communicate with the Medicine Valley. We'll carry out the deepest level of cooperation. Both sides will open up the transmission array to each other. This matter is settled. Jin Yuan, take me to see the great elder of the Medicine Valley. Then, Nan Ziffin led a group of elders to the VIP building. The two of them chatted casually for a while. Nan Ziffin looked at Night Sorrow and said, Shang has a good name and looks energetic. Stay at the Southern Dipper sect for a while. Thank you for your hospitality, sect master. Night Sorrow bowed. After that, Nan Ziffin left. He was the sect master of the Southern Dipper sect and also a venerable one. He was already giving face to the Medicine Valley by coming to see them personally. Nan Ziyun and Nan Jinyuan stayed behind and chatted with the great elder. Night Sorrow and Yang Lei listened on the side. The great elder could make the decisions regarding the Medicine Valley. Nan Ziyun also had the approval of the Southern Dipper sect, so he could make all the decisions. Then, the two sides exchanged space crystals for the transmission array. Nan Ziyun arranged for people to install the crystal for the Medicine Valley's transmission array. At the same time, he also sent people to bring the crystal for the Southern Dipper sect's transmission array from Dongxian City to Danding City to find people from the Medicine Valley to install it. After that, Night Sorrow and the other two rested at Heaven Do Mountain. The main reason was that it wasn't appropriate to leave directly. On the third day, Nanxing brought Nan Liyue, who was wearing a red dress, and two young men to the VIP building. Night Sorrow, this is my cousin Nan Liyue. My cousins Nan Yi and Nan Hao. Nanxing introduced them to both sides. Yi Shang cupped his hands in greeting towards the group. After greeting the great elder and Yang Lei, Nan Liyue looked at Night Sorrow and said, a year ago, you were at the peak of the essence-gathering realm. Now, you're already at the 8th stage of the spirit-severing realm. You're indeed powerful. You're exaggerating, Saintess Liyue. In your eyes, this is nothing, Night Sorrow said. I'm not exaggerating. Your cultivation speed is very fast. Also, I've heard about your achievements, so I'm itching to spar with you. Nan Liyue looked at Night Sorrow and said. Cousin, Night Sorrow is a guest. This isn't appropriate. Nanxing quickly stopped her. He knew how powerful Nan Liyue was. Nan Liyue was already at the peak of the 4th stage. In the Southern Dipper sect, no one was her match except for those at the 5th stage. Great Elder, Elder Yang, I'm sure you won't mind, right? Nan Liyue looked at the Great Elder and Yang Lei and asked. It's nothing. However, you guys will have to follow your elders to the Medicine Valley as guests. The Great Elder said with a smile. Of course. I'm just itching to spar with you today. Nan Liyue said. After speaking, Nan Liyue also went to the martial arts field in front of the VIP building. At this moment, Nan Ziyun and two other elders came over. There was also a group of Southern Dipper sect disciples. Liyue, stop. They are the most distinguished guests of our Southern Dipper sect. Nan Ziyun quickly stopped Nan Liyue. Grandpa Yun, it's just a spar. It won't affect anything. The Great Elder and Elder Yang both agreed. Nan Liyue said. Great Elder, I'm sorry. Liyue has been spoiled by us. Nan Ziyun cupped his hands and said apologetically to the Great Elder. It's okay. We're all young people. We'll still have to interact in the future. It's good to get familiar with each other. The Great Elder said. All right then. You guys don't go too far. Nan Ziyun said. Night Sorrow cupped his hands to the Great Elder and the elders of the Southern Dipper sect. He then walked to the martial arts field. Chapter 372. Genius 1 second. Remember love/go/little. I will provide you with wonderful novels to read. Looking at Nan Liyue's flaming fist, Night Sorrow activated the mysterious jade spiritual energy in his hands. His hands were covered in a white cold light as he executed the killing fist and punched towards Nan Liyue's right fist. Bang! Night Sorrow and Nan Liyue's fists collided and a muffled sound was heard. Following that, Nan Liyue took a few steps back. This was because Night Sorrow's fist had exploded with wave force. She couldn't withstand the continuous energy bombardment. Nan Liyue was pushed back a few steps by Yi Shang's punch, but Yi Shang didn't move at all. This made Nan Liyue frown. Her body flashed as she circled around Yi Shang and punched him. She used the same energy technique as Sikong Chuyu's ripple force. The only difference was that Nan Liyue's ripple force was a fire attribute ripple force. Night Sorrow used vibration force and ripple force alternately to block all of Nan Liyue's attacks. He kept pushing Nan Liyue back while his feet didn't move at all. Following Nan Liyue's roar, a fiery red energy appeared on her body. Following that, her feet shook and the green stone ground shattered. Gravel flew everywhere. Among the gravel, Nan Liyue rose into the air and punched towards Night Sorrow. She used her innate talent, the energy of Nanli Fire Body. Knowing that Nan Liyue was going all out, Night Sorrow's myriad Tao Tome's energy burst forth and entered his arms, increasing the intensity of his attacks. Love Go Little Say W. Chu. After exchanging blows for a while, Night Sorrow realized that Nan Liyue's true chi was stronger than his. He had the upper hand because his body was stronger and his energy technique was stronger. Now that Nan Liyue was about to go berserk, he couldn't help but be careful. Bang! Bang! Muffled sounds kept coming out. Night Sorrow's feet didn't move as his fists kept attacking. He blocked all of Nan Liyue's crazy attacks and kept pushing her back. You're pissing me off. I don't believe that I can't deal with you. Her continuous attacks couldn't shake Night Sorrow, and couldn't make him retreat even half a step. Nan Liyue couldn't help but take out a long sword. Seeing that Nan Liyue had taken out her weapon, Night Sorrow raised his right hand and grabbed the reincarnation spear's handle from his shoulder. Because he was a guest at the Southern Dipper sect, Night Sorrow was more concerned about the Southern Dipper sect's reputation, so he had been on the defensive. If Nan Liyue still didn't know when to back down, then he didn't intend to continue being polite. Liyue, that's enough. Stop. How could he not see Night Sorrow's intentions? How could he not see the difference between Nan Liyue and Night Sorrow? This is the Southern Dipper sect. If I continue to fight, that would be rude and bullying you. When we reach the Medicine Valley, I'll spar with you again. I don't believe that I can't win. Nan Liyue retracted her energy and said angrily. Saintess, thank you for showing mercy. Night Sorrow let go of the reincarnation spear and cupped his hands towards Nan Liyue. You're very polite, but why do you look so angry? Nan Liyue snorted and left. The disciples of the Southern Dipper sect also looked at each other and left with Nan Liyue. As the heavenly daughter of the Southern Dipper sect, they had never seen a situation where Nan Liyue was defeated. Great Elder, I'm very sorry. Liyue is the little overlord of our Southern Dipper sect. She's spoiled. Night Sorrow, please don't mind her. Nan Ziyun cupped his hands towards the Great Elder and said to Night Sorrow. It's nothing, Elder Nan is too serious. Night Sorrow bowed and said. That's good. Nan Ziyun said with a smile. He didn't want to make the Great Elder and Night Sorrow unhappy because of this. Elder Ziyun, we have to leave as well. We have to go somewhere else to inform them. Thank you for your hospitality these past few days. The Great Elder said to Nan Ziyun. Since the Great Elder has something to do, I won't force you to stay. After all, the teleportation formation has been opened, so it'll be convenient for us to travel in the future. Disciples from both sides can also interact more. Nan Ziyun said. Nan Ziyun then sent Night Sorrow and the other two to the teleportation formation in Stardo City. Elder Ziyun, I'll be waiting for you at Medicine Valley. The Great Elder cupped his hands towards Nan Ziyun, who had come to send them off. All right. I'll be there later. Nan Ziyun nodded. The Great Elder brought Night Sorrow and Yang Lei to the teleportation formation and returned to Dongxian City. After communicating with the black armored guard guarding the teleportation formation, Night Sorrow and the other two took the teleportation formation to the Thunder Rumbling sect. When they arrived at the Thunder Rumbling sect, Night Sorrow directly said that he wanted to see Elder Lei Jiuyun, Lei Bao, and Lei Zheng. The Thunder Rumbling sect's elder guarding the teleportation formation directly brought the three of them to rest and then sent a message to the sect. The Thunder Rumbling sect's mountain gate was closer to the teleportation formation. Half an hour later, Lei Jiuyun brought Lei Bao and Lei Zheng to the pavilion where the Great Elder was resting. Haha. I didn't think that we'd meet again after such a short time. Lei Jiuyun laughed and greeted the Great Elder and the other two. Lei Bao walked up and gave Night Sorrow a punch and a bear hug. Kid, your cultivation has risen really quickly. Carrot Zhang version, initial 8G hair, that's right, it's simply inhumane. Lei Zheng felt the same way. I'll bring the Great Elder to the mountain gate to receive him. The two of you accompany Night Sorrow and Elder Yang well. Otherwise, I won't let you off. Lei Jiuyun said to Lei Bao and Lei Zheng. Don't worry, Elder. This disciple will treat them like they're at home. Lei Bao said. Lei Jiuyun and the Great Elder then left. What are you waiting for? Let's go drink. Lei Bao shouted as he watched Lei Jiuyun's figure disappear. After finding a restaurant, Lei Bao and Lei Zheng ordered a table full of dishes. They didn't order any wine because Night Sorrow took out 2 jars of wine. Night Sorrow, where's that beauty of yours? Why didn't she come with us? Lei Bao asked as he poured wine. We're not here for sightseeing. We're here to invite the Thunder Rumbling sect to Medicine Valley. Night Sorrow said. Oh, so that's it. We really want to go, but we can't. The round trip is too long. It'll take too much time. Lei Bao sighed. That's no longer a problem. The Medicine Valley has opened a teleportation array. You can take the teleportation array from here to Dongxian City, and from there, take the teleportation array from Dongxian City to the Medicine Valley, said Yishang. There's a teleportation formation in Medicine Valley? It should be. You destroyed the Golden Flame sect, so it's normal for you to take their teleportation formation. It'll be convenient for us to go there in the future. Lei Bao said with a smile. Night Sorrow, there's one more thing we have to thank you for. Thank you for giving us so many crystal stones at the Thunder Rumbling Tower. Lei Zheng raised his wine bowl and said to Night Sorrow. While Night Sorrow and the others were drinking, Nan Liyue, Nan Yi, Nan Hao, and Nan Sheng were in a courtyard of the Southern Dipper sect. There were also some other disciples of the Southern Dipper sect. Cousin, is that guy very strong despite his young age? Nan Yi asked. Very strong. He's even stronger than the holy son of the Holy Light religion, Ho Jian. I don't know how that bastard cultivates. Unfortunately, the law enforcement elder won't let me use my weapon. Nan Liyue said with some resentment. Can you win by using your weapon? Nan Sheng, you know Night Sorrow. Tell me, what's his strongest point? Nan Ziyan walked into the courtyard, glanced at Nan Liyue, and then lifted his chin at Nan Sheng. Elder Ziyan, are you telling the truth? Nan Sheng whispered after glancing at Nan Liyue. Chapter 373. Genius 1 second. Remember love divided by go divided by little? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Then let's talk about what I know. Night Sorrow is best at spear techniques and palm techniques. His spear techniques are sharp, tricky, and swift, while his palm techniques are overbearing. His palm technique should be Medicine Valley's unique skill, Heaven Covering Hand. Love Go Little Say W. Chu. His fighting style is very difficult to be strong. When he fights, he doesn't defend, but attacks fiercely and violently. Nan Xing said. Liyue, did you hear that? Today, Night Sorrow just casually threw a punch to block your attack. If he really wanted to fight back, then the scene would be ugly. His road to fame is littered with corpses. Too many outstanding disciples of Golden Flame sect and Red Cloud sect have been beheaded by him. His fame is not from flattery, but from killing. Do you understand? Nan Ziyin said. Yes, he is not a flower in a greenhouse. He may be gentle and easy to get along with, but when he fights, he is like a different person. Today's fight should not be called a fight. Nan Xing said. I know he is very strong. I don't mean to look down on him. I just want to see how strong he is under his fame and how much stronger he is compared to me. Nan Liu said. You guys have nothing better to do. Later, I will take you to Medicine Valley. The Medicine Valley is holding a venerable ceremony, so there should be a chance to learn from each other. If you lose to Night Sorrow, I will endure it, but if you lose to others, be careful. Nan Ziyin coldly snorted and left. Night Sorrow, Lei Bao, and Lei Jing talked about their purpose of coming while eating and chatting. The two of us must go. The venerable ceremony, there must be a chance to learn from each other. If we can't beat you, we will beat others. Lei Bao said excitedly. Medicine Valley has already invited Southern Dipper sect and Thunder Rumbling sect. Next is Holy Light sect, Free and Unfettered sect, and Star Cloud sect. Only Red Cloud sect is not invited. Night Sorrow said. Okay, we will definitely go. Lei Bao nodded. Afterwards, Lei Bao and Lei Jing arranged for Night Sorrow to stay at the Best Inn before leaving. They knew that the friendship between gentlemen was as light as water. Night Sorrow and Yang Lei also needed some space. Right. Premier VV, these two guys are really good. They're straightforward and not pretentious. They're good friends, Yang Lei said. Night Sorrow nodded. He acknowledged the two of them in his heart. Then let's rest. Looking at the sky, Yang Lei drew the curtains. I won't be able to accompany you for a while. I'm currently cultivating the outer chapter. Night Sorrow rubbed his hair and said in embarrassment. You really cultivate? Yang Lei looked at Night Sorrow in surprise. Of course I'm going to cultivate. Right now, my flesh, bones, and marrow have all been strengthened. I can't leave any blind spots. Otherwise, they'll be troublesome in the future, Night Sorrow said. I hope it can be normal. Otherwise, it'll really kill me. Yang Lei was a little afraid. Night Sorrow was already very strong in that aspect. Every time, she would be exhausted. If Night Sorrow's ability in that aspect increased, she didn't know what she would be like. That night, Night Sorrow hugged Yang Lei and rested. Cultivating the outer chapter of the bone-forging realm was not allowed to do anything between a man and a woman. The two of them ate some food and chatted in the main hall of the inn. Then, Lei Bao and Lei Jing arrived. After walking around, the group arrived at the entrance of the Thunder Rumbling sect. Originally, Lei Bao planned to bring Night Sorrow and Yang Lei directly to Lei Jiuyun's cultivation area. However, Night Sorrow and Yang Lei requested to see Qianlan first. After seeing Qianlan, Yang Lei took out a face-retaining pill and gave it to Qianlan as a gift. This pill is too precious. You can keep it. After listening to Yang Lei's description of the effects of the pill, Qianlan shook her head and handed the pill to Yang Lei. Love go little say Wang, Chu, auntie, take it. Although you won't age after entering the 5th rank, this pill is still effective. I've eaten it before. Yang Lei smiled. All right then. Qianlan nodded with a smile. Then, the group went to see Lei Zhang's parents. Night Sorrow took out the spirit spring liquid given to him by Tianji Tower. There were 7 or 8 drops inside. It was also a generous gift. After seeing Lei Bao and Lei Zhang's family, the group went to Lei Jiuyun's residence. In Lei Jiuyun's residence, the Great Elder and Lei Jiuyun talked about the cooperation between the sections. Then, the two sides also talked about the opening of the transmission array and formally formed an alliance. Medicine Valley had 2 venerables, so it had the same qualifications as Thunder Rumbling sect. After talking for a while, the Great Elder left the last piece of the space crystal of Medicine Valley's transmission array to Thunder Rumbling sect. Then, He took the space crystal of thunder rumbling sect's transmission array and left with Night Sorrow and Yang Lei. Lei Jiuyun took Lei Bao and Lei Zheng to the transmission array. Okay, then we'll meet in Medicine Valley. You two little guys should go too. After getting on the transmission array, the Great Elder nodded to Lei Bao and Lei Zheng. After returning to Dongxian City, the next stop was Holy Light Temple. When they arrived at Holy Light Temple, Night Sorrow didn't see Ho Jian. The Great Elder also casually invited him and didn't have much interaction. After leaving Holy Light Temple, the group of three went to Nebulous Sect and Free and Unfettered Sect. They were all polite invitations, so they didn't waste much time and returned to Dongxian City. Alright, the two of you don't have to rush back with me. Just stay here and play for a few days. Don't delay the Venerable One's celebration, Great Elder said to Yi Shang and Yang Lei, who were going back together, as he stepped onto the teleportation portal back to the Medicine Valley. Night Sorrow and Yang Lei nodded. After watching the Great Elder leave, they rode their flying demon beasts and returned to Qingxin Cottage. Ninth Senior Sister, did you see that? Nebulous Sect is not very friendly to us. Night Sorrow said while making tea after returning to the main building of Qingxin Cottage. Of course, Nebulous Sect has a good relationship with Golden Flames Sect and Red Cloud Sect, so why would they be kind to us? The Great Elder felt that from the perspective of etiquette, he should invite them. If it were up to me, I wouldn't bother with them. Yang Lei said. Nebulous Sect's attitude was very high, which made Yang Lei and Night Sorrow very unhappy. Haha. Our Medicine Valley has the Southern Dipper Sect and the Thunder Rumbling Sect as our allies. Why don't the Nebulous Sect and the Scarlet Cloud Sect try to touch us? Yi Shan said. The Medicine Valley was no longer a place where anyone could attack as they pleased. Yes, so our Medicine Valley has the qualifications to be proud. Yang Lei nodded and said. As long as the Medicine Valley is safe and stable, we have no worries. Night Sorrow said. This was also what he cared about the most. Night Sorrow, did you see that Holy Light Religion has a deep resentment against Thunder Rumbling Sect? When they asked which sects were going to attend the ceremony, when the Great Elder said Thunder Rumbling Sect, Holy Light Religion's people's eyes were burning with anger. Yang Lei said with a smile. Last time, Holy Light Religion declared war on Thunder Rumbling Sect. We know the result. They didn't gain any advantage. In addition, Lei Bao killed a lot of Holy Light Religion's disciples in the different space, so their hatred is not shallow. I guess Master's celebration ceremony won't be peaceful. Night Sorrow said his own judgment. Yang Lei nodded. These forces are not harmonious, so conflicts are inevitable. I thought you could calm down, but it seems that you can't. Nebulous Sect will probably find trouble with you. When that time comes, you'll have to go all out. Chapter 374. A Genius Remembers Love in 1 Second? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. You don't have to worry so much. The Medicine Valley is not afraid of anyone now. You can fight however you want. Fight for your friends and brothers. Who can say anything? Yang Lei said. Night Sorrow thought about it and felt that he was thinking too much. What should be done was done. If they wanted to fight, then they would fight. It was that simple. After staying in Dongxian City for 2 days, Night Sorrow and Yang Lei took the teleportation array back to Danding City. After this period of construction, the structure of Danding City had changed a lot. The reconstruction of the main city had been completed, and the surrounding areas were also being expanded. The scale was 2 or 3 times larger than before, and they were all near the Dragon Spring Courtyard. However, the higher-ups of the Medicine Valley had ordered that the area around Tianshui Lake should be built according to the scenic area. Tianshui Lake and Longquan Villa should not be changed in the slightest. As for the current situation of the Medicine Valley, as long as one was not a new disciple of the Medicine Valley, he knew what was going on. The reason why the Medicine Valley could reach its current situation was mostly because of Night Sorrow. If it weren't for Night Sorrow, it wouldn't have been Medicine Valley that destroyed the Golden Flame Sect. it would have been destroyed by the Golden Flame sect. The teleportation formation and the Golden Flame Palace were brought back by Night Sorrow. Everyone knew that the Dragon Spring Courtyard was Night Sorrow's residence. After returning to Danding City, Night Sorrow told the elder in charge of the teleportation array that if Lei Bao and Lei Zhang from the Thunder Rumbling sect came, they should be brought to the Dragon Spring Courtyard. He then released Tianyu and brought Yang Lei back to the Dragon Spring Courtyard. Love Go Little Sei Ku. After entering the Dragon Spring Courtyard, Yi Shang felt very comfortable. After staying here for a long time, he felt a sense of security. Night Sorrow was very happy to see Aoi and Sikong Chuyu. The third-generation disciples of Taishian Peak also bowed to him. 13. Your friend came to the Longquan Courtyard to look for you a few days ago, Aoi said. Which friend? Night Sorrow asked. Qin Zhen. He's very domineering now. He took first place on the Yuan board and entered the core condensation realm. Other than you, no one else can match his speed, Aoi said. Very good. He is my first friend, the first friend who is willing to stand up for me. Hearing Aoi's words, Night Sorrow was very happy. He sincerely hoped that Qin Zhen could rise up. After greeting Aoi and Sikong Chuyu, Night Sorrow brought Tianyu and Silver Fox to Tianshui Lake to enjoy the breeze. Silver Fox was still at the peak stage of element gathering realm. It had stayed there for a long time and its body had not grown up. It was very different from its mother. Baidu search AI Go female sign Xiao say www.aichuxs. Soam. Silver Fox's temperament had changed. It did not allow others to get close to it. In the Dragon Spring Courtyard, only Sikong Chuyu and Aoi could get close to it. If other disciples of Taishian Peak dared to get close, they would directly attack them. It was very easy for Silver Fox to deal with the third-generation disciples of Taishian Peak. The main reason was that it was very fast. It was very difficult for others to attack it. Speed was a very important factor in a battle. This was the result of the increase in Silver Fox's intelligence as it grew. It would only get close to people it approved of. However, it was even closer to Night Sorrow. Wherever Night Sorrow went, it would always follow him. When Night Sorrow was enjoying the breeze, a fish jumped out of the water near the shore of Tianshui Lake. The moment the fish jumped out of the water, Silver Fox moved. Its body left an afterimage. It grabbed the fish with its claws and slapped the water with its tail. With a twist of its body, it landed beside Night Sorrow. Beautiful. Night Sorrow said as he patted Silver Fox's neck. Silver Fox intimately bumped Night Sorrow's waist with its head. This guy might be in trouble now. Your martial nephews did not dare to get close to it. They were all badly attacked by it. Fortunately, it did not kill them. They were all beaten black and blue by its tail, Sikong Chuyu said with a smile as he walked over. It is very obedient now, Night Sorrow said as he stroked Silver Fox's neck. Night Sorrow and Sikong Chuyu sat on the rocks beside Tianshui Lake and enjoyed the night breeze. I like this feeling, Sikong Chuyu said in a low voice. I like it too. Most importantly, I like the feeling of being with you, Night Sorrow said. After staying for a while, the two went back. Night Sorrow walked Sikong Chuyu to the door of the attic. Night Sorrow looked at Sikong Chuyu's blushing face and told him the reason why he could not go in. You bad guy. Sikong Chuyu glanced at Night Sorrow and ran back to the attic. Night Sorrow returned to the main attic with a smile. Looking at Silver Fox who was following beside his feet, Night Sorrow bent down and picked it up. Since you are willing to follow me, let's practice secret cultivation together. Night Sorrow brought Silver Fox to the secret cultivation room. He gave it a beast pill and took out the black jade stone. He began to meditate and cultivate. Night Sorrow cultivated his true chi while cultivating the Myriad Tao treasured book and the external chapter of bone strengthening. The following days were spent peacefully. Half a month later, Night Sorrow finished cultivating the external chapter of the Myriad Tao treasured book. The key areas that had been strengthened by energy were as strong as the other parts of his body. After the impact of energy and blood chi, there were also changes in size. In addition to cultivating the external chapter of the Myriad Tao Treasured Book, Knight Sorrow's Myriad Tao Treasured Book had also reached the peak of the third level of the consolidation realm. He was not far from entering the fourth level. However, the speed of his true chi cultivation was still a little slow. After all, the energy required to advance to the eighth level of the spirit-severing realm was too great. After some calculations, there was still 1.5 months before Yu Yangyu's venerable celebration ceremony. Knight Sorrow planned to go to Danding Cliff to cultivate for a while. After hearing Knight Sorrow's decision, Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu both agreed. After this period of consolidation, there was no problem for Knight Sorrow to go to Danding Cliff to cultivate. The main reason was that they were worried that Knight Sorrow would be needed to fight at the Venerable Conference. Update: You Soonest 6 at present, there were not many people in the Medicine Valley who had strong combat strength among the 4th level disciples. If there was a battle at this level, Knight Sorrow would be the one to fight. In addition, Knight Sorrow was also the target of many people. The most famous disciple in the Medicine Valley was Knight Sorrow. If there was a battle, it would be against Knight Sorrow. Riding on Tianyu, Knight Sorrow returned to Danding Cliff. 13 is here. This time, work hard to raise your cultivation to the 9th level of the spirit-severing realm and then take the first place of the heaven list. Seeing Knight Sorrow arrive, Elder Su greeted him. Yes, Elder Su, thank you for your hard work. Knight Sorrow bowed to Elder Su. Go. Yu Tianyu, I will watch over you. Elder Su waved at Knight Sorrow. Knight Sorrow patted Tianyu's wings and began to climb the cliff. Knight Sorrow did not feel any pressure below Danding Cliff. Knight Sorrow quickly rushed to 6,000 meters of Danding Cliff. At 6,000 meters, Knight Sorrow stretched his waist at 6,000 meters and continued to rush up. After half an hour, Knight Sorrow rushed to 6,600 meters. At 6,600 meters, Knight Sorrow did not stop. He continued to rush up. He wanted to challenge himself. 6,700 meters. At 6,800 meters, Knight Sorrow felt the pressure. Knight Sorrow thought for a while and decided to cultivate here. When his cultivation increased, he would rush up. Chapter 375. Genius remembers love in 1 second/small. We provide you with wonderful novels to read. 6,800 meters was not Knight Sorrow's limit, but Knight Sorrow felt that it was meaningless to increase the height before reaching 7,000 meters. Once he reached the 9th level of the spirit-severing stage, he could challenge 7,000 meters. Only by reaching 7,000 meters before the spirit-severing stage would he have a chance to get close to the 8-Dragon Cauldron. After hearing about the 8-Dragon Cauldron from the Great Elder, Yu Yangyu and Hua Yunpeng, Knight Sorrow knew that the 8-Dragon Cauldron had surpassed the limit of a spiritual weapon and entered the level of a sacred weapon. What was a sacred weapon? A spiritual weapon was at the 6th level, corresponding to the Venerable Realm. A sacred weapon corresponded to the Saint Realm. In the Eastern Xian domain, no sect had a sacred weapon. Knight Sorrow knew that as long as he reached the 5th level, he could step on the stairway to heaven. However, whether he could get close to the 8-Dragon Cauldron was still unknown. Therefore, he wanted to improve his climbing record as much as possible. As the height of the cliff increased, the energy under the Pill Cauldron Cliff became denser. Knight Sorrow's cultivation was also much faster than before. Enjoying the pleasure of the energy entering his body, Knight Sorrow tried his best to refine the energy, turning it into his genuine chi and the energy of the Myriad Tao Tome. While cultivating, Knight Sorrow also controlled the energy in the energy point under his dragon bone to touch the 2nd energy point. He wanted to continue stimulating the energy in his bloodline. Time slipped away. Except for the Red Cloud sect, everyone in the Eastern Xian domain came to the Medicine Valley to attend Yu Yangyu's Venerable Realm celebration. The people of the Thunder Rumbling sect also came to the Medicine Valley under the lead of Lei Jiuyun. The elder in charge of the Medicine Valley told them about Knight Sorrow's invitation and asked the guards of the Medicine Valley to send Lei Bao and Lei Zheng to the Dragon Spring Courtyard. "Brother, we're here." Lei Bao shouted as soon as he entered the dragon's spring courtyard. Are you afraid that others don't know you're here? Night Sorrow is not here. He will probably come back later. Yang Lei came out to greet them. Yang Lei arranged the two in the guest room. The environment here is much more comfortable than the VIP building in the Medicine Valley. There are more people there. Is Night Sorrow worried that we might have a conflict with someone? Lei Zheng asked. It is indeed quite chaotic now. He is a little worried. Seeing that Lei Bao had already guessed it, Yang Lei spoke the truth. This was a disgrace to him. Yang Lei arranged a meal to entertain Lei Bao and Lei Zheng. Night Sorrow cultivated hard. He planned to improve his cultivation before the Venerable One's celebration. No one knew what would happen at the Venerable One's convention. On the fourth day of Night Sorrow's closed-door cultivation, Night Sorrow raised his cultivation to the fourth level of the Consolidation Realm. The moment he entered the fourth level of the Consolidation Realm, Night Sorrow felt a change in his body. That was, his soul force could operate on its own. It could absorb the energy of heaven and earth that could help strengthen the soul. Good! Night Sorrow shouted in his heart. His soul force could be strengthened on its own. This was a milestone. After stabilizing his mood, Night Sorrow continued to cultivate. Time slipped away little by little. 20 days later, Night Sorrow raised his true Qi cultivation to the peak of the 8th level of Spirit Severing Stage. After stabilizing his cultivation for 2 days, Night Sorrow looked at the 7,000-meter platform above him. Then, he looked at the 6,000-meter platform and continued to meditate. Night Sorrow planned to advance on the spot. He didn't need to use his true Qi cultivation. The energy of the myriad Dao Tome could withstand the pressure, so it wasn't difficult for him to advance with his true Qi. Condensing the true Qi halo was not difficult for Night Sorrow. After a night, Night Sorrow condensed the 9th halo. After stabilizing his cultivation for 2 days, Night Sorrow stopped cultivating. Looking at the top of Danding Cliff, Night Sorrow began to charge upwards. At 6,880 meters, he exhausted all his energy. Then, relying on his own strength, he climbed another 6 to 7 meters. Then, Night Sorrow activated the energy point under the dragon bone and continued to climb. Without using the mysterious jade energy in his hands, Night Sorrow rushed to the 6,900-meter platform. After recovering for a while on the 6,900-meter platform, Night Sorrow continued to climb upwards. The last 100 meters were the hardest 100 meters of each stage. By the time Yi Shan had climbed halfway, the energy in his body was depleted. Looking at the height, Night Sorrow didn't continue climbing. He calculated that with his current strength, he wouldn't be able to climb to 7,000 meters. Only when he reached the peak of the Spirit Severing Stage would he have a chance. Night Sorrow retreated downwards. It was much easier to descend. After recovering for a while on the 6,000-meter platform, Night Sorrow returned to Danding Cliff. He shouted at Tianyu, who was resting, and greeted Elder Su. Night Sorrow rode on Tianyu and flew towards Danding City. At this time, Tianyu, who had reached rank 4, level 5, was extremely fast. In less than an hour, he arrived at Danding City. Without stopping in the city, Night Sorrow returned to Longquan Courtyard. After getting off Tianyu, Night Sorrow saw Lei Bao and Lei Zheng and greeted them. You two are here. You're really shameless. The two of us worked hard to cultivate, and it wasn't easy for us to reach level 6 of the Spirit Severing Stage. You're already at level 9 of the Spirit Severing Stage. Is there any justice in this world? Seeing Night Sorrow's cultivation, Lei Bao somewhat gloomily said. You too, how many days have you been here? Night Sorrow asked with a smile. A few days. You're nowhere to be seen. Lei Zheng opened his mouth and said. Then Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu also came out of the main building. Level 9 of the Spirit Severing Stage, this cultivation is enough. If someone comes looking for trouble, you can easily deal with them. Yang Lei said. Night Sorrow, when you were at the early stage of the Spirit Severing Stage, you were able to deal with the Holy Son of the Holy Light Temple. Now, you can deal with them as easily as cutting vegetables. Lei Bao said with a smile. What's the situation outside now? Night Sorrow opened his mouth and asked. In addition to the Scarlet Cloud sect, all the other superpowers have come. As far as I know, the Holy Son of the Holy Light Temple and another outstanding disciple, Ho Qingjie, have come to the Medicine Valley. The Holy Daughter of the Southern Dipper sect is also in Danding City. There's also the Great Demon King of the Free and Unfettered sect. The most important thing is the Nebula sect. It's said that the genius of the Scarlet Cloud sect is with the people of the Nebula sect. Yang Lei said. You first W equals, what do you mean by the genius of the Scarlet Cloud sect is with the people of the Nebula sect? Night Sorrow frowned and asked. Are you stupid? We didn't invite the Scarlet Cloud sect, so they can't come. However, they still want to slap the face of the Medicine Valley, so they let their outstanding disciples join the team of the Nebula sect and do dirty things in the name of the Nebula sect. Sikong Chuyu said. Chapter 376. Genius 1 second. Remember love go/little. We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Invincible in the same level, then I will try it with her. Night Sorrow was not afraid of being invincible in the same level, because in the past 2 years, he had met too many people who claimed to be invincible in the same level. So what? That is a shameless person. He is several times older than us, and if not for eating the Earth Spirit fruit, his hair would have already turned white. Lei Bao said. What Earth Spirit fruit, what's going on? Night Sorrow asked, puzzled. This blood-red peak is several hundred years old. When he was young, he ate an Earth Spirit fruit, which is a spirit medicine that can extend one's life by several hundred years. Therefore, he has the time to squander it, and he has the time to stay at each level for a long time. He is also the trump card of the Red Cloud sect, and they use him to fight against people of the same level from other sections. Yang Lei said. Night Sorrow nodded. After listening to Lei Bao and Yang Lei's explanation, he understood that Blood Red Peak might be difficult to deal with. Currently, the Thunder sect and the Southern Dipper sect are confirmed allies. The attitude of the other forces is still uncertain, so it's better to be careful. Yang Lei looked at Night Sorrow and said. She knew that Night Sorrow was strong, but his analysis of interpersonal relationships was lacking. Lei Bao, this time the people from the Holy Light Temple are here. You guys had a war a while ago, so both sides will probably exchange pointers. At present, Night Sorrow was not worried about himself, but about Lei Bao and Lei Zheng. Our sect's peak 4th Order Lei Zhen and Lei Ku have arrived at the Medicine Valley, but I'm worried that they are not Ho Jian's opponent. That bastard is at the 4th Order, so it will be very difficult to defeat him. Lei Bao said. The only true B, who's X, he is a pirated FS, when the time comes, we will see. This Holy Light Temple is very disgusting. As long as no one can defeat him, then the Holy Light Temple's momentum will rise. Lei Zheng said. Ho Jian's situation was like a flag. If he was not defeated at the 4th Order level, then other sects would not be able to show off. This was unsolvable. I'll take care of this. After pondering for a while, Night Sorrow made a decision. Night Sorrow did not make this decision on impulse. From the perspective of a brother, he had to help Lei Bao and Lei Zheng. From the perspective of a sect, Night Sorrow also had to help an ally. No matter what, he had to stand on the side of the Thunder Rumbling sect. Night Sorrow, there are no outsiders here, so I'll put it bluntly. We're friends. We accept your help, but I'm worried that you'll cause dissatisfaction with Tianji Tower, Lei Bao said. Baidu search AI go female sign shao say www.aichuxs. Xiaom last time in the Fallen Leaves Grand Canyon, after the battle between Holy Light Temple and Thunder Rumbling sect was dissuaded, Lei Bao and the others knew that Holy Light Temple had people in the upper management of Tianji Tower. Therefore, they were worried that Night Sorrow's behavior would cause dissatisfaction with the upper management of Tianji Tower. If they are really dissatisfied, I'll explain. We're not in Tianji Tower, so there's nothing wrong with putting the sex interests and our own interests first. Night Sorrow said. You have to be careful too. The Venerable One celebration this time is a chance for the Medicine Valley to make a name for themselves. You are their real target, Lei Zheng said. I understand. Ninth Senior Sister, there are still a few days before the Venerable celebration. Aren't you busy? Night Sorrow looked at Yang Lei and asked. Baidu search AI go female sign shao say www.aichuxs.com, there are still 6 days left. Although I'm the city lord of Danding City, no one has assigned me any tasks. The Great Elder also doesn't care about me. He knows that I don't like those things. Besides, now that all the elders of Medicine Valley are on the move, I have nothing to do. Yang Lei said. Ninth Senior Sister, I estimate that you are the most comfortable city lord of Danding City in the history of Medicine Valley. Sikong Chuyu said with a smile. Let's not talk about it anymore. Let's go out for a walk. We'll go to Thunder Rumbling City. You receive them. This time, I'll receive you. Night Sorrow said to Lei Bao and Lei Zheng. Then, the group went out on the street. Sikong Chuyu didn't need to cover her face like before. She and Night Sorrow's strength had increased a lot. The main reason was that the Medicine Valley had become stronger. Even if the Sikong family and Jiyu family came again, the Medicine Valley wasn't a place where they could do whatever they wanted. On the street, Night Sorrow and the group saw groups of patrols. They were all led by the direct disciples of the 12 Peaks of Medicine Valley. When these people saw Night Sorrow and the group, they all bowed to greet them. First of all, Yang Lei was the city lord of Danding City. Although she didn't care much, she was the most powerful person in Danding City. In addition, Night Sorrow was also a popular figure in the Medicine Valley. He was the idol of all the disciples of Medicine Valley. Although Night Sorrow had only joined the sect for a short period of time, his achievements were high. Even the senior disciples who had joined the sect for tens of years could not compare with him. Many people were stuck at the bottleneck, unable to enter the core formation realm or the spirit severing realm. However, Night Sorrow had already reached the 9th level of the spirit severing realm. One should know that after reaching the void inquiry stage, one would be qualified to become an elder in the Medicine Valley. Currently, the peak lords of the Nine Peak and the Taishian Peak were only at the peak of the spirit severing realm. After finding a tea house, Night Sorrow led the group inside. After entering, Night Sorrow was stunned for a moment because he saw some familiar faces. They were Ho Jian of the Sacred Light sect and a few young men. Night Sorrow cupped his fists at Ho Jian. Why didn't you inform me that you were coming? I didn't treat you well. I'm sorry. It's all right. We just arrived 2 days ago. It won't be too late for us to drink and chat after the venerated expert assembly is over. Ho Jian also stood up and greeted them. Boss, give this table another pot of good tea. Night Sorrow called out to the boss of the tea house. When Night Sorrow asked for tea, Ho Jian and Lei Bao's eyes met. Are you glaring at me? Do you think I'm afraid of you? Ho Jian snorted coldly. Do you think I'm afraid of you? Isn't it just because your cultivation base is slightly higher than mine? What's there to flaunt about? Lei Bao also retorted. Everyone, calm down. It's just a grudge between our sections. Actually, there's no need to be so resentful in private. Night Sorrow acted as a peacemaker. The difference in temperament between the two of you is too big. Ho Jian gave Lei Bao and Lei Zheng a glance and said. F***CK. Who are you talking about? After hearing Ho Jian's words, Lei Zheng was enraged. Night Sorrow, you can't blame me for this. Anyway, my hands are itchy too. I'll deal with them later. Ho Jian glanced at Lei Bao and Lei Zheng and said. Brother Ho, we'll see each other often in the future. This kind of conflict is meaningless. If your hands are itchy, I'll spar with you. Night Sorrow said with a smile. You're standing up for them again. Fine. Then, we'll spar again at the Venerable One's celebration. Ho Jian nodded at Night Sorrow. The two of you should feel lucky. You have a good friend. After hearing Ho Jian's words, Lei Bao was about to stomp his feet again. However, Yang Lei pressed down on his shoulder. What a gathering of the winds and clouds. Ho Jian, you took advantage of us last time. This time, we'll settle the old and new debts together. At this time, Nan Liue of the Southern Dipper sect also entered the tea house. The treasures of heaven and earth belong to the virtuous. It's my fortune to be able to obtain it, isn't it? Ho Jian glanced at Nan Liue and continued to drink his tea. Fine. You're right. We'll see each other at the Venerable One's assembly. Nan Liue found a seat and sat down. Is there a need to be so angry? Night Sorrow could tell that the disciples of these superpowers weren't happy with each other. Chapter 377. Genius remembers love in 1 second/small. We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Cousin, we're here as guests. Nan Sheng, who was following behind Nan Liue, smiled apologetically at Night Sorrow. I know, but I don't like him, okay? Nan Liue glared at Nan Sheng. You don't see eye to eye with him, but he sees eye to eye with you? You really don't know what you're talking about. Before Night Sorrow could refute, Ho Jian spoke up. What does this have to do with you? Why are you trying to be a good person? Nan Liue looked at Ho Jian with some annoyance. It has to do with me. Look, this is the best tea that Night Sorrow treated me to. I've said before that he's my opponent and also my friend. It doesn't matter if we spar, but I don't like it when you talk about him like that. Ho Jian said. I-oh. You guys are not bad now. You even know how to team up. I'm waiting for the Venerable One's celebration to spar with you guys one by one. Let's go to another tavern for a drink. Nan Liue led the people from the Southern Dipper sect out of the tea house. I didn't provoke her, so why does she dislike me? Night Sorrow was a little confused. He didn't think that he had provoked Nan Liue. It's simple. Women are like this. When they see that the woman beside you is stronger than them, they feel a little unhappy. Don't mind it. Ho Jian said. Yes, although I don't like him, his words are quite correct. Lei Bao nodded. Okay, let's drink tea. Night Sorrow said with a smile. As for Nan Liue's hostility, he didn't really care. He felt that Nan Liue was hostile, but there was no killing intent. Even if there was a conflict, it was a fight of brotherhood. After chatting for a while, Night Sorrow found out that Ho Jian and the others were staying at an inn in Danding City. After making an appointment to drink together tomorrow, Night Sorrow and the others left the tea house. What kind of people are they to encounter so many things while drinking tea? Lei Zheng said. Last time, that Ho Jian told me that he went to the Fallen Leaves Grand Canyon to practice his combat skills. If he doesn't continue to cause trouble, then you don't need to bother about it. After all, that was a sect battle, not a personal grudge. Night Sorrow felt that Lei Bao and Lei Jing didn't need to be tangled up over this matter. Night Sorrow, you're thinking too much. We're not brooding over Ho Jian's problem. In the world of cultivators, battles happen all the time. We don't have any irreconcilable grudges. If he doesn't look for trouble, we won't hold it against him. Besides, we can't beat him. Love go little say W. Chu Lei Bao said with a smile. After strolling around the streets, Night Sorrow's group returned to the Dragon Spring courtyard. Then, Night Sorrow went to the quiet room and began to cultivate. What he needed now was strength. He had just entered the 9th level of Spirit Severing Stage and the 4th level of Myriad Tao Tome, so there was a lot of room for improvement. After cultivating for a night, Night Sorrow took Lei Bao and Lei Zheng to the restaurant that he had arranged with Ho Jian. Ho Jian and another disciple of the Holy Light Temple, Ho Qingjie, had already arrived. After Night Sorrow asked the restaurant owner to arrange the dishes, he took out a few jars of wine, opened a jar, and poured everyone a glass. I'll say a few more words of nonsense, don't mind it. It's normal for cultivators to have battles and conflicts because everyone has different standpoints. If you see each other in private, you can drink 2 jars of wine. Tomorrow, because of the sex interest, you have to fight with the other side. That's another matter, right? Yes, that's true. Ho Jian said. Lei Bao also nodded. I don't have any thoughts about the disciples of the Holy Light Temple being killed in the different space. If you're not as good as others, then you have to accept your fate. Love go little say ku the last time I went to the Fallen Leaves Grand Canyon, it was to practice my actual combat. Ho Jian raised his wine bowl toward Lei Bao and Lei Zheng. Since that's the case, then we brothers have nothing to complain about. The matter of the different space is settled in the different space. It's meaningless to come out and fight again. Lei Bao said. This is the meaning of the sect's higher-ups. As a disciple of the Holy Light Temple, I can't comment on the higher-ups' right and wrong. Ho Jian said. Okay. Your words are worth a toast. Lei Bao raised his wine bowl toward Ho Jian and Ho Qingjie and drank it in one breath. I'll drink this wine, but in the different space, you chased me for more than 200 miles. I'll remember that. When I chase you for more than 200 miles, this matter will be over. Ho Qingjie glanced at Lei Bao, raised his wine bowl, and drank it. What's the use of saying this now? It's not embarrassing, we'll talk about it when we fight back. Ho Jian looked at Ho Qingjie and said. Ho Qingjie nodded somewhat embarrassedly and continued to drink. While drinking and chatting, Ho Jian, Ho Qingjie, and Lei Bao's relationship with Lei Zheng eased a lot. Night Sorrow, this time you have to be careful. Scarlet Cloud Sex Scarlet Blood Peak and Star Cloud Sex Zhao Wuji are both ruthless. If you can withstand them, then we'll exchange pointers. Ho Jian said. Thank you, Brother Ho, for reminding me. We'll have plenty of opportunities to exchange pointers. Night Sorrow smiled and nodded. They drank until noon, when Night Sorrow left the tavern with the Lei brothers. Qingjie, you're the first group to enter the different space, but now you see, there's not much difference between you and Lei Bao and Lei Zheng, but the gap between you and Night Sorrow has widened. Ho Jian said with some emotion. I don't know how he cultivates, it's simply incomprehensible. Ho Qingjie said somewhat helplessly. His temperament is good, and he's a good friend. Back then, he and Lei Bao were opponents in the different space, but now? They're already very good friends. Last time in the Fallen Leaves Grand Canyon, for Lei Bao and Lei Zheng, he fought to the death with me with his 4th-level spirit-severing cultivation, so he's worth being friends with. However, whether he'll be interested in us or not is another matter. Ho Jian drank the last bowl of wine, stood up, and left the tavern with Ho Qingjie. After Night Sorrow returned to the Dragon Spring courtyard, he began to cultivate diligently. At night, he cultivated the myriad Daos treasured book and true qi, and during the day, he cultivated his spear arts and footwork. Lei Bao and Lei Zheng cultivated at night, and during the day, they went out shopping. Plus, genuine first appearance Night Sorrow once again advanced the heaven-covering hand, skipping the cloud-flipping hand, from the diamond hand to the origin-destroying hand, reaching the 4th stage. This stage was even higher than Yang Lei's. Yang Lei had cultivated the heaven-covering hand's 3rd stage, the cloud-flipping hand. The heaven-covering hand had 6 stages: mountain-suppressing hand, diamond hand, cloud-flipping hand, origin-destroying hand, earth-shaking hand, and heaven-covering hand. Night Sorrow's body was strong enough, but the energy in his body was insufficient. Right now, he could only use the origin-destroying hand 4 times. If he continued to advance, he could also advance to the earth-shaking hand, but the energy required to use the earth-shaking hand was too much. Using it would only take 1 or 2 moves, so it wasn't as practical as the origin-destroying hand. Yang Lei was very envious. She was currently researching how to advance the cloud-flipping hand to the origin-destroying hand, but Night Sorrow had already succeeded. 13. The heaven-covering hand really suits you. Yang Lei said with some emotion. Chapter 378. A Genius Remembers Love in 1 Second? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Master and I have put in a lot of effort to strengthen our hands. You, on the other hand, are the opposite, Yang Lei said. In the future battles, I'll be at the front, Night Sorrow said with a smile. In the past few days, Night Sorrow and Yang Lei had sparred. Yang Lei couldn't defeat Night Sorrow, but Night Sorrow couldn't defeat Yang Lei. Once Yang Lei took off, Night Sorrow couldn't do anything about it. He couldn't shoot the sky-piercing spear. Okay, you rest for a while. We'll go back to Danding Mountain. The day after tomorrow is Master's celebration of becoming a venerable. We have to go back early, Yang Lei said. Night Sorrow didn't have much to pack. After lunch, the group arrived at Danding City. Master hasn't gone back yet? Night Sorrow asked as he looked at the shining golden flame palace. Not necessarily. Master won't bring the golden flame palace with him. The teleportation formation here is very important. If there's an emergency, the guardian elders here will activate the formation with the golden flame palace as the core. That way, the teleportation formation will be foolproof. Besides, Master will be the first to know and will come quickly, Yang Lei said. Without the protection of a spiritual weapon, Master's combat power will be affected, Night Sorrow said. Night Sorrow, you think too much. Doesn't the Medicine Valley have the 8-Dragon Cauldron and Grand Elder Hua? Even if a venerable comes to make trouble, the Medicine Valley won't be afraid. Besides, 1,000 miles is nothing to a venerable. It won't take long for Master to come and take the Golden Flame Palace back, Sikong Chuyu said. Then, Night Sorrow and the group went to the inn where Ho Jian was staying. They called Ho Jian and Ho Qingjie to go to the Medicine Valley. Can we not stay in the VIP tower? I'm tired of it. Ho Jian said while standing on the red-headed eagle. The VIP tower is very quiet, right? Night Sorrow asked. Night Sorrow, there are some things you don't know. My uncle is a clean freak. Even when we stay in the inn, we bring our own daily necessities, Ho Qingjie said with a smile. No wonder you always take your own bowl when you drink. I thought you were worried that I would poison you. Yi Shan recalled some details about Ho Jian. Ho Jian glared at Ho Qingjie and asked Yi Shan, let's not talk about other things. Can you or can you not? No problem, I have my own territory. In a while, you can all rest at my place. However, you better behave yourselves. You messed around and tore down my bamboo building. I'm not done with you. Yi Shan looked at Ho Jian and then at the Lei brothers. Baidu search AI go female sign shao say www.aichuxs.com, they won't. Don't worry. Let's not talk about your face. They are pretty good. Ho Jian said. What do you mean pretty good? Go and ask around. When have we brothers ever done anything wrong? When have we ever been looked down upon by others? Hearing Ho Jian's evaluation, Lei Zheng was somewhat angry. You should be content. There are too few people who can get this evaluation from my uncle. Even in our Holy Light Temple, there are only a few. Ho Qingjie curled his lips and said. Okay, stop fighting. Your two sects aren't fighting, so what are you fighting for? Yang Lei said. Soon, the group arrived at the bamboo forest peak. The bamboo forest peak had a few newly built lofts. Night Sorrow arranged one for Ho Jian and Ho Qingjie on the left and the Lei Bao brothers on the right. Ho Jian, you guys take your time drinking tea. We're going to Crepe Myrtle to find some beauties. Lei Zheng pulled Lei Bao and waved at Ho Jian and Ho Qingjie before leaving the bamboo forest peak. Those two sluts. Night Sorrow, what's going on? Ho Qingjie looked at Night Sorrow and asked. The last time they were guests, I took them to Crepe Myrtle to play. As a result, they hooked up with the girls they liked. Night Sorrow said with a smile. Those two guys are too slutty. They didn't even call me. Night Sorrow, when are you going to take me there? Ho Qingjie said. Night Sorrow was speechless. Ho Qingjie usually had a serious expression on his face, but in reality, his heart was in turmoil. After Ho Jian entered the loft, he tidied up himself. He took out his tea set and a praying mat for meditation. Night Sorrow, don't mind me. I'm not looking down on anyone. I'm just used to using my own things. Ho Jian explained when he saw Night Sorrow enter. I understand. If you don't like it, you wouldn't have come here. If you need anything, just call me. Night Sorrow said. It's nothing. When the Venerable One celebrates, just take us there. Ho Jian said. At night, Lei Bao and Lei Jing came back. Both of them had slutty smiles on their faces. What a slutty face. Seeing Lei Bao and Lei Jing come back, Ho Jian, who was drinking tea in the courtyard, said without waiting for Qingjie to speak. Why do I feel like your words are sour? If you were more polite, I could have asked my sister to introduce you to other beauties. Lei Bao said. Come. Come and have some tea. Before Ho Jian could speak, Ho Qingjie waved at Lei Bao and Lei Zheng. A bunch of shameless people. Yang Lei, who heard their conversation, glared at them with disdain. She hugged Night Sorrow's arm and returned to the main building. Our 13 is still the best. Those guys are too much. Yang Lei pulled Night Sorrow to sit down and said to Sikong Chuyu. What's wrong? Sikong Chuyu asked. Then, Yang Lei told him what happened just now. Haha. Actually, it's a good thing that they can get along so that Night Sorrow won't be troubled. Lust is a common problem among men. Our 13 is an exception. Sikong Chuyu said with a smile. After chatting for a while, Night Sorrow continued to cultivate. He was trying to break through to the peak of the spirit severing stage. He had just entered the 9th level of the spirit severing stage and still had a long way to go. In the morning, when the servant disciples of Taishian Peak delivered the prepared food, Night Sorrow realized that Ho Jian, Ho Qingjie, and the Lei brothers were all gone. How shameless. Night Sorrow was speechless as he looked at the two empty lofts. Only, L is the original version, the others are the original version. After eating some food, Night Sorrow began to cultivate his spear arts and movement skills. Ever since he knew that Starcloud's sect brought Scarlet Cloud's sect Scarlet Blood Peak to Medicine Valley, Night Sorrow knew that a battle was waiting for him. In the afternoon, Ho Jian and the other 3 returned with glowing faces. How was it? Did it feel good? Night Sorrow asked. Not only did it feel good, it was dazzling. However, we don't have any opportunities today. After the High Lord celebration, we won't leave until we get one. Ho Qingjie waved his arm and said. 9th senior sister, I have to go see Marshal Aunt Yi and ask her to look after Crate Myrtle's disciples. There are too many wolves. Night Sorrow said. Night Sorrow, you can't do that. I've already planned to ask the law enforcement elder to help me propose marriage. If you cheat me like this, I won't let you off. Lei Zheng said anxiously. All right. You guys win. It's your ability to hook up with her. Night Sorrow said with a smile. Oh right, we saw that shameless gigolo from Scarlet Blood Peak today. He pulled a long face as if someone owed him money. Lei Zheng said. Chapter 379. Genius remembers love in 1 second/small. We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Don't worry. As long as it's not tier 5, I'm not afraid. I want to see what kind of battle prowess he has, Night Sorrow said. Night Sorrow, I know I'm no longer a match for you, but I still want to spar with you. This way, I'll know where my weakness is and where I need to work hard, Ho Jian said. Alright, let's exchange some pointers. Only then can we know where our shortcomings are. Only then can we improve. Night Sorrow nodded and carried the reincarnation spear to the empty space in front of the bamboo building. Ho Jian also came to the field with his long sword. We don't need to be humble. That would be boring. Showing your strength is a sign of respect. Knight Sorrow nodded and pointed the reincarnation spear diagonally at the ground. He then twisted his wrist, causing the reincarnation spear, which had been infused with energy, to emit a soft hum. At this moment, Ho Jian made his move. He leapt into the air and slashed his sword towards Knight Sorrow. Last time, he had not suffered any losses, so he was not afraid. Knight Sorrow's spiraling energy burst forth, and he directly thrust his spear towards Ho Jian's longsword. Ding! With a crisp sound, Ho Jian was knocked back by Knight Sorrow's spear. Ho Jian's expression changed as he was pushed back. His deflecting force had lost its effect. Knight Sorrow's spear's penetrative force was too strong. His deflecting force was ineffective. Before the rebound force could catch up, it was destroyed by Knight Sorrow's spiraling force. Love go little say soon after, the two of them clashed again. Knight Sorrow did not go easy on him, because that kind of sparring would be meaningless. Knight Sorrow wasn't going easy on him, so Ho Jian was under a lot of pressure. His strongest point was his defensive and rebounding ability, but now that he was being countered by Knight Sorrow, he could only move around and fight. However, in terms of speed, Knight Sorrow was also very fast, and he was closing in on him step by step. After fighting for half a cup of tea's time, Ho Jian waved his hand, indicating that he would stop fighting. You're too shameless. Last time, you couldn't restrain my deflecting force rebounding force, but now you can. Did you specially study it? No. After our last battle, I obtained another spear art. This spiraling energy is the foundation, Knight Sorrow said with a smile. It's too powerless. If the technique of exerting energy is restrained, then the combat power will be reduced by several levels, Ho Jian said, somewhat speechless. This spiral energy is not bad, Knight Sorrow said with a smile. Try mine. Lei Bao jumped up, and with a wave of his heavy sword, he slashed towards Knight Sorrow. Knight Sorrow took 2 steps back, and suppressed his cultivation to level 6 spirit severing stage. Then, with a shake of his right hand, he used the 7-star brilliant moon spear art. 4 spears merged into one and pierced towards Lei Bao's heavy sword. Ding! Ding! With 4 consecutive sounds, Lei Bao's body retreated, and then his right arm shook to disperse the qi that Knight Sorrow had injected into his heavy sword. What is this? Lei Bao asked in shock. What kind of spear art is this? Ho Jian also asked. When Knight Sorrow fought with him, he didn't use this spear art. It's a newly learned spear art, and the effect is very good, Knight Sorrow said with a smile. Lei Bao, Lei Zheng, let's deal with him together. Ho Jian shouted, and continued to attack Knight Sorrow. On the other side, Lei Bao, Lei Zheng, and Ho Qingjie all moved, and attacked Knight Sorrow from all sides. Knight Sorrow instantly released his suppressed cultivation, and with a wave of his reincarnation spear, he used the 7-star brilliant moon spear art. At the same time, he continuously switched between 3 different energy techniques. Ho Jian and the others' energy techniques were different, and Knight Sorrow wanted to use his energy techniques to make the battle easier. When he clashed with Ho Jian, Knight Sorrow used spiral energy. When he clashed with Lei Bao, he used wave energy to restrain Lei Bao's explosive energy, and vibration scripture to restrain Lei Zheng's extreme energy. As for the relatively weaker Ho Qingjie, he was the unluckiest. He was able to receive all 3 of Knight Sorrow's energy techniques. When Knight Sorrow used the 7-star brilliant moon spear art and soaring dragon steps, Ho Jian and the others couldn't get close to him. Before they could get close, they were repelled. Knight Sorrow also didn't use violence to crush anyone, as that would end the battle quickly. Now was the best time for him to practice group battles. After fighting for 15 minutes, Ho Jian and the others stopped. Lei Bao, did you not eat? Can't you use more strength? After the battle stopped, Ho Jian looked at Lei Bao and said with dissatisfaction. I didn't eat? Then where did your energy go? Where's the energy you used to flatter others today? Lei Bao said as he wiped the sweat from his forehead. I'm the unluckiest. Night sorrow, when you clashed with them, it was all one type of energy. When it came to me, it was all one type of energy. Aren't you bullying me? Ho Qingjie said with dissatisfaction. Their energy techniques have strong characteristics, so I was able to restrain them. As for your defensive and rebounding energy, it's still a bit lacking compared to your uncle's. I can resist all kinds of energy techniques, so you understand. Night sorrow said as he held the tea that Yang Lei brought over. So I'm the unlucky one. Ho Qingjie said with a little speechlessness. After everyone sat down, they chatted casually. The relationship between Ho Jian and Lei Bao became more harmonious. They chatted while thinking about the battle just now. The more they thought about it, the more shocked they were. They knew that Night Sorrow was very strong. Today, they didn't even see Night Sorrow's true strength. After chatting for a while, Night Sorrow went to practice. Ho Jian and Ho Qingjie also returned to the pavilion that Night Sorrow arranged for them. Uncle, Night Sorrow is too strong. Ho Qingjie said with deep emotion. He is the only one who is authentic, the others are all fake. Today, he didn't use his full strength. When you entered the different space, he fought with the Red Cloud sect. With his core condensation cultivation, he killed 2 spirit severing stage cultivators and more than 20 spirit severing stage cultivators. When he reaches the 9th level of spirit severing stage, what do you think his effect will be? Ho Jian looked at Ho Qingjie and said. Not to mention that he's invincible among his peers, he's invincible. It's true that he's invincible among his peers. Ho Qingjie nodded and said. It's good to practice with him more. Not to mention his cultivation talent, his fighting talent, alas. I don't know how to describe it. Ho Jian said with some emotion. Lei Bao and Lei Zheng also sighed. They were both proud people. Today, Night Sorrow's strength also stimulated them. In the VIP East building of Medicine Valley, a group of people was talking. Brother Xifeng, you know about Night Sorrow's situation. When the time comes, someone will fight with him first. Let's observe and then kill him. A man in his 30s said. He was Zhao Wuji, a disciple at the peak of 4th stage of Star Cloud sect. The other person was Xifeng of Red Cloud sect. Their target was Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow was the star of Medicine Valley and also the disciple with the most potential in Medicine Valley. Killing Night Sorrow would be the biggest blow to Medicine Valley. Don't worry. Even if Medicine Valley is dissatisfied with killing him in the arena, they can only endure it. If a venerable dies in the celebration, they can only swallow it. Zhao Guanyu, an elder of Star Cloud sect, said. Chapter 380. Genius remembers love in 1 second go. We provide you with wonderful novels to read. When Night Sorrow and the others arrived, the people of Taishan Peak had already gathered. Wu Qi led the team, and Hua Nan had also returned. As a disciple, he had to attend Yu Yangyu's venerable celebration ceremony. Then, the group of people walked toward Danding Peak. Yu Yangyu's venerable celebration ceremony was much more important to Taishan Peak than to other peaks. Many disciples of Taishan Peak were his disciples and grand disciples. The Danding Square had been set up. Each sect had their own seats, followed by the 12 peaks of Medicine Valley and the O family's seats. After the appearance of the 2 venerables of Medicine Valley, the O family lowered their posture even more, but the Medicine Valley still respected the O family very much. Wu Qi led the elders and disciples of Taishan Peak to the seats of Taishan Peak. Those who should be seated had already taken their seats. Today, Yu Yangyu was sitting in the main seat. Beside him were Hua Yunpeng and the Great Elder. Yu Yangyu's venerable celebration ceremony was much grander than Hua Yunpeng's. The main reason was that the status of Medicine Valley was no longer the same as before. This time, no venerable from other sects came. Under normal circumstances, venerable cultivators would not go to other venerables' lair unless they were desperate. This was a dangerous place, and no one would do so easily. The last time Su Huantian of the Golden Flame sect came to Medicine Valley, it was because he knew that Hua Yunpeng had just entered the Venerable Realm and was not his match. Now that the Medicine Valley had 2 venerables, it would be difficult for another venerable to come. In addition, the 2 venerables of the Golden Flame sect had died for no reason. This was an invisible deterrent to the venerables of other sections. The more experienced one was, the more timid and cautious one would be. One would not do things that one was not confident in. When he saw Night Sorrow, Hua Yunpeng waved at Night Sorrow. "Come here. Supreme Elder, is there anything I can do for you?" Night Sorrow bowed as he walked to the front of the main seat. "It's nothing. Come over here. You are the last disciple of the Valley Master, so it is more appropriate for you to stay here," Hua Yunpeng said. Night Sorrow nodded and stood behind Yu Yangyu. "Your cultivation has improved quite well. Once you reach level 9, you'll need to slow down a bit. Leveling up steadily is the key," Yu Yangyu said to Night Sorrow. "Disciple understands." Night Sorrow nodded. Then, the representatives of the major sects presented their gifts. This time, the first elder was the one to receive the gifts. Xian Wu was still in Golden Flame City. In addition, the people who came this time were much more powerful than last time. Thus, it was only proper for the first elder to receive the gifts. After receiving the gift, Yu Yangyu stood up to express his gratitude. At the same time, he also elaborated on the present and future of Medicine Valley. Love Go Little Say Ku as a new superpower, Medicine Valley naturally had to let the other sects know the purpose of Medicine Valley. Then came the main event. The disciples of the major sects competed with each other. Although everyone had their own conflicts, they didn't kill each other. The only ones who fought fiercely were the Southern Dipper sect and the Star Cloud sect. Night Sorrow didn't know why, but he could see that both sides were targeting each other. After the element gathering stage, the disciples of the major sects won and lost each other. Next, in the core condensation stage battles, in addition to the Southern Dipper sect and the Star Cloud sect, the Thunder Rumbling sect and the Walkabout sect were also a bit angry. This was because the disciples of the Thunder Rumbling sect had injured the disciples of the Walkabout sect. Therefore, the Walkabout sect began to compete with the Thunder Rumbling sect. On the other hand, the Holy Light Temple was very stable. They didn't send their disciples to the stage. Lei Bao also said something to Lei Jiuyun. Therefore, even if the disciples of the Holy Light Temple went to the stage, the Thunder Rumbling sect didn't move. In the core condensation stage battle, the most dazzling one was the disciple of the Medicine Valley's North Pole sect, Qin Zhen. He defeated the disciple of the Star Cloud sect's core condensation stage level 7 disciple. Finally, he was defeated by the disciple of the Star Cloud sect who was at the peak of the core condensation stage. Baidu search AI Go female sign Xiao say www.aichuxs. Xiaomyong Bajua free watch VW Xiao K say QB. This made the people of the Medicine Valley angry. Gu Lin and Chao Yang both went to the stage. They both won and lost against the disciples of the Star Cloud sect. Finally, the Southern Dipper sect's Nan Ming went to the stage. He first defeated the disciples of the Star Cloud sect, then defeated the disciples of the other sects, and became the strongest person in the core condensation stage. Then, it was the competition between the disciples of the Spirit Severing stage. This was also the end of the competition in this celebration ceremony. It was also the competition that everyone valued. This time, the most elite disciples brought by the major sects were at the Spirit Severing stage. At first, it was the battle between the early stage of the Spirit Severing stage, and then it slowly progressed. This time, it was different from the last Venerable Hua Yunpeng celebration ceremony. The current competition was not all against the Medicine Valley, so the pressure on the Medicine Valley was not great. The real wave came after the disciples of the Free and Unfettered sect severely injured the disciples of the Southern Dipper sect. The disciples of the Southern Dipper sect began to erupt and began to fight with the disciples of the Free and Unfettered sect. In the end, the Heaven-list disciple of the Medicine Valley, Shi Yuntian, went to the stage and defeated the disciple of the Free and Unfettered sect. The people of the Southern Dipper sect did not go to the stage, which ended the conflict. There was no conflict between the disciples of the Southern Dipper sect and the Medicine Valley. The two sects were iron allies. The disciples of both sects knew this, and the Southern Dipper sect knew that the Medicine Valley sent their disciples. Then, the disciples of the Holy Light Temple appeared and fought with Shuryantian. The next competition was calm. No disciple of any sect could dominate. Then, Nan Liue of the Southern Dipper sect went to the stage. Ho Jian, are you waiting for me to call you? Come on out. Nan Liue looked at the area of the Holy Light Temple. Ho Jian and Nan Liue had known each other for more than a day or two. The two of them had accepted Tianji Tower missions together, and it was not just once. The most recent time was when they explored a spatial crack. Ho Jian and Nan Liue found a rare ore at the same time. However, Nan Liue was unlucky and was entangled by a demon beast. The treasure was obtained by Ho Jian. After being challenged by Nan Liue in front of so many people, Ho Jian, who originally did not want to fight with a woman, could only go up to the stage. After going up to the stage, the two of them fought. This was also the most intense battle so far. Nan Liue couldn't do anything to Yishan, but that didn't mean that she wasn't strong enough. It was because Yishan's energy technique and profound jade spirit chi restrained her, causing her strength to be greatly reduced. The same situation also happened to Ho Jian. Nan Liue and Ho Jian, who were not restrained, were very fierce. The stage was full of the shadows of the two people. Sword chi flew everywhere, and no one could suppress the other. The young people of the Eastern Profound region who are known as the Holy Son and Holy Daughter are really strong. The Great Elder said and then glanced at Night Sorrow. Nan Liue and Ho Jian fought for a long time, but there was no winner. Then, Yu Yangyu waved his hand and used energy imprisonment to separate the two. Your strength is about the same. You have made good progress in the competition. There is no need to determine who is stronger. Nan Liue and Ho Jian bowed to Yu Yangyu and then retreated. They both knew that if they continued to fight, it would still be a draw. Unless it was a life and death battle, there was no need for the two of them to fight to the death. Nan Liue and Ho Jian went down, and a peak level 9 spirit severing stage guy from the Nebula sect went up to the stage. Nebula sect's Zhao Tianming is here to learn from the Medicine Valley's disciple. I heard that the Medicine Valley's disciple, Night Sorrow, is very strong. I wonder if you can teach me. When Zhao Tianming said this, everyone knew that the Nebula sect was going to make a move. They were going to make a move against the Medicine Valley. Nodding to Hua Yunpeng and Yu Yangyu, Night Sorrow walked up to the stage. Chapter 381. A Genius Remembers Love in 1 Second? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Zhao Tianming's intention was to have a life and death battle. Furthermore, he had already made his intentions clear. Since you're so confident, go ahead and spar. Yu Yangyu smiled. You want to kill Night Sorrow? He wasn't worried at all. Tianming, then do whatever you want. The Valley Master will not interfere. Zhao Guanyu stood up and said in the direction of the Starry Cloud sect. He was using his words to stop Yu Yangyu from stopping Yu Yangyu. Sigh. Sometimes ignorance is really deadly. On the side of Holy Light religion, Ho Qingjie looked at Zhao Tianming with pitiful eyes. Others might not know, but after yesterday's sparring session, Ho Qingjie finally understood just how terrifying Night Sorrow was. Lei Bao and Lei Ming also looked at each other. The two of them knew that Zhao Tianming was in for a tragedy. You want a battle to the death, right? Then just say it. I'll accept it. Also, I, Night Sorrow, am standing right here. Whoever wants to fight me to the death, come up. Night Sorrow said coldly as he waved his reincarnation spear. Following which, Zhao Tianming swung his arm and a great sword appeared in his hand. Without saying a word, he swung his great sword at Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow waved his right hand, and the reincarnation spear, which was imbued with vibrational force, pierced out. Following closely behind the vibrational force was the spiral force, which was unleashed by the myriad Tao Tome's energy. Love go little say kubang. With a muffled sound, Zhao Tianming's blade was knocked away by Night Sorrow's spear. However, Zhao Tianming's strength was also very strong. He was also able to disperse Night Sorrow's true qi. However, he wasn't able to block Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear's attack. The energy from Night Sorrow's myriad Tao Tome burst forth and he immediately executed the 7 stars dazzling moon spear technique with a spiral force. 4 spear lights merged into one and pierced towards Zhao Tianming's neck. Zhao Tianming did not retreat. He felt that he had dispersed a wave of Night Sorrow's true qi. Night Sorrow's spear technique looked sharp, but in reality, it was just for show. Zhao Tianming quickly gathered some true qi and once again waved his blade. Hiss! As the spiraling energy on the Night Sorrow reincarnation spear erupted, Zhao Tianming's battle saber was pushed away. Then, the Night Sorrow reincarnation spear pushed forward and the spear light pierced through Zhao Tianming's throat. Battle. There were tens of thousands of spectators in the Pill Cauldron Square. At this moment, it was dead silent. Zhao Tianming, who was at the peak of the spirit severing stage, was instantly killed. Zhao Guanyu narrowed his eyes and looked at Yishang. He had originally planned to let Zhao Tianming test Yishang's strength, but before he could do anything, he was killed. Are you waiting to be beaten up? You too should learn from him. Lei Jun, who was sitting in front of the two, said. The Medicine Valley's disciples cheered. Night Sorrow was the most reliable disciple in the Medicine Valley. No matter when, as long as Night Sorrow made a move, it would be the most reliable. Night Sorrow turned his head and looked in the direction of the Nebulous Sect. He knew that the battle had just begun. The Nebulous Sect would continue to attack. Zhao Tianfei, go up and try. Remember to be steady. Zhao Guanyu said to a man behind him. A middle-aged man stood up and walked towards the center of the arena. Rank 4 was no longer a low-level cultivator. It wasn't easy to reach this stage. It was already very good to reach rank 4 at the age of 30 or 40. After all, Night Sorrow, Lei Bao, Ho Jian, and Ho Qingjie were all geniuses in the Eastern Profound Domain. Seeing Zhao Tianfei enter the arena, Night Sorrow executed the soaring dragon steps. After taking a few steps, his body soared into the air and he smashed his spear towards Zhao Tianfei's head. Night Sorrow didn't execute any spear art. He just infused it with vibration force and smashed it with great force. Hearing the reincarnation spear's piercing sound, Zhao Tianfei's legs trembled and he quickly retreated. Night Sorrow, who was in the air, waved his arm and swung the reincarnation spear behind him. He borrowed the force and rushed forward. He stretched out his right hand and punched towards Zhao Tianfei's chest. Seeing Night Sorrow's fist, Zhao Tianfei slashed his saber towards Night Sorrow's left hand. He was afraid of Night Sorrow's spear art, but he wasn't afraid of his fist. Night Sorrow continued to extend his left hand. During the process, he opened his 5 fingers and slightly curled them, executing the mysterious jade hands. The moment he was about to clash with Zhao Tianfei's saber, Night Sorrow's left hand swayed and dodged Zhao Tianfei's saber. He grabbed the back of Zhao Tianfei's saber and swung the reincarnation spear in his right hand towards Zhao Tianfei's head. Zhao Tianfei's expression changed. His right hand trembled as he tried to pull his saber back twice. He gritted his teeth and tilted his body. His right leg suddenly kicked towards Night Sorrow's abdomen. This was a fight where both sides would suffer. Zhao Tianfei didn't dare to abandon his weapon. If he didn't have a weapon in this kind of fight, it was no different from courting death. Night Sorrow's left hand didn't let go of Zhao Tianfei's saber. The reincarnation spear in his right hand continued to smash downwards. At the same time, the myriad Tao Tome's energy was channeled to his abdomen. He poured his true qi into the reincarnation spear and didn't withdraw it. Bang! Zhao Tianfei's kick landed on Night Sorrow's abdomen. A muffled sound rang out, but Night Sorrow's body didn't move at all. Zhao Tianfei's expression was unsightly. He felt as if he had kicked an iron plate. The bones in his foot had already shattered. To Zhao Tianfei, the shattering of his foot bones wasn't a big deal. The greatest danger was Night Sorrow's spear smashing downwards. Min be fast piup v Zhao Tianfei let go of his saber and quickly retreated. You want to leave? It's too late. Night Sorrow poured the energy from the myriad Dao Tome into his right arm. The reincarnation spear's smashing speed suddenly increased and directly smashed onto Zhao Tianfei's shoulder. Following a crisp kacha sound, the bones in the right half of Zhao Tianfei's body were shattered. He was directly smashed to the ground. Following which, Night Sorrow took a step forward. His right knee heavily smashed onto Zhao Tianfei's chest, sending him flying. Night Sorrow didn't continue to pursue. He knew that Zhao Tianfei's internal organs would be shattered after receiving his full-force knee strike. There was no chance of him surviving. Zhao Tianfei, who was sent flying for 6 to 7 meters, landed on the ground. His body twitched irregularly twice before he stopped moving. In the battle, Zhao Tianfei only used one saber and one kick before he was violently killed by Night Sorrow. He was already at the 9th level of the spirit severing stage, but he was still killed so miserably. I didn't give any gifts for my master's honorable stage celebration. I just used this blood to wish my master a prosperous future. Aren't we going to have a life and death battle? Then I'll be right here. Next. Night Sorrow waved his reincarnation spear and turned to look at the nebulous sex area. Damn, this is a mad dog. In the southern Dipper sex area, Nan Liue whispered. Now you know that you can't provoke this guy, right? Nan Ziyan glanced at Nan Liue and said. This is nothing. Let's continue watching. The previous battle was much bloodier. It will be even bloodier in a while. Come on. I like that scene. Nan Xing said excitedly. Chapter 382. Geniuses remember love in 1 second? We will provide you with interesting novels to read. What do you know? This is a real man. He is usually gentle and refined, but when he gets angry, he is like a volcano erupting. You guys should learn from him. Nan Liue glared at Nan Yi and continued to watch the arena. His blood and qi rushed to the top and formed essence qi smoke. There was no problem for him to take a kick. His body has truly reached maturity. Nan Ziyan said with some emotion. When he took the kick, I heard a crisp sound. That was the sound of bones breaking. Now that he is fine, it means that the one who broke the bones was that unlucky guy. Nan Liue looked at Zhao Tianfei's corpse and said. At this moment, Night Sorrow's white battle robe was fluttering in the wind. The reincarnation spear in his right hand was slanted towards the ground. I like this feeling. Didn't you guys want to have a life and death battle? Continue. Night Sorrow said coldly when he saw that the people of Star Cloud's sect were looking at him with hostility. Too arrogant. Zhao Wuji leaped into the air and landed on the arena from the Star Cloud sect side. There is nothing to be arrogant about. Whoever wants to slap our Medicine Valley's face, slap my face, I will slap them back. Night Sorrow looked at Zhao Wuji coldly. You have to have the strength to do so. Zhao Wuji said as he waved the battle blade in his hand. The Golden Flame sect said the same thing back then. Everyone knows the truth. If there are still people who are asking for a beating, I will continue to kill them. Night Sorrow made his words clear. As long as one wasn't stupid, they would know that Night Sorrow was talking about the Star Cloud sect. You are courting death. Zhao Wuji's body flashed, leaving behind an afterimage. His battle blade slashed towards Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow didn't retreat at all. He waved his reincarnation spear and 4 spear lights merged into one and pierced towards Zhao Wuji's throat. Zhao Wuji turned his body, changed his direction, and continued to attack. Night Sorrow rotated his body and simply thrust out his reincarnation spear, sealing off Zhao Wuji's path of advance. Following that, he began to test the waters with guerrilla warfare. The two of them clashed once. Night Sorrow realized that Zhao Wuji had used a special technique to generate energy. The energy stacked on top of each other, and Night Sorrow's vibration sutra was unable to shake it off. Then, Night Sorrow used spiraling force. If he couldn't shake it off, then he would use a penetrating attack. Fai is version equals H initial L5. Zhao Wuji was the strongest fourth stage disciple of the Star Cloud sect. He had a lot of battle experience, so he didn't fight Night Sorrow head-on. Instead, he moved around and looked for an opportunity to attack. Zhao Wuji felt that Night Sorrow was young and impatient. Furthermore, Night Sorrow's cultivation wasn't as high as his, so he felt that a battle of attrition would be more effective. After 2 rounds of guerrilla warfare, the energy of the myriad Tao Tome in Night Sorrow's body exploded. A part of it rushed towards his legs, and his speed instantly increased. His body left an afterimage as he rushed in front of Zhao Wuji. He waved his reincarnation spear and instantly shot out 4 spears. His target was Zhao Wuji's throat. Night Sorrow's speed instantly increased, and Zhao Wuji wasn't prepared. Even if he was prepared, he couldn't dodge in time. He could only wave his blade to block. Ding! With a crisp sound, Zhao Wuji's body was pushed back by Night Sorrow's spear. Zhao Wuji's right arm was raised behind him. It was obvious that he was at a disadvantage. Night Sorrow's true chi had a strong penetrating power. In addition to his great strength, Zhao Wuji was at a disadvantage. After gaining the upper hand in one move, Night Sorrow's feet shook. After approaching Zhao Wuji, he attacked with his reincarnation spear again. This time, he used the vibration force. Zhao Wuji's true chi was shaken by his attack just now. Night Sorrow believed that he could break Zhao Wuji's defense by using the vibration force again. At this moment, Zhao Wuji's face was filled with shock. He wanted to use his speed to increase the distance between them, but the true chi in his dantian was shaken violently by Night Sorrow's spear and couldn't be used. In a panic, he could only use his blade to defend. His method of releasing energy was suitable for defense, so he believed that he could block Night Sorrow's attack. However, Night Sorrow's method changed. This time, his reincarnation spear didn't directly stab towards Zhao Wuji's battle blade. When their weapons were about to clash, the reincarnation spear moved up an inch and continued to stab. Zhao Wuji raised his right hand and waved his battle blade to block Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear. The moment his battle blade touched Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear, the vibration force on Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear exploded. Buzz! A strong vibration sound rang out. Zhao Wuji's battle blade was shaken off, and his arm was swung backwards. Night Sorrow pressed his wrist, and the reincarnation spear, which had been shaken up by half a foot, returned to its original path towards Zhao Wuji's chest. Zhao Wuji's eyes were filled with fear as his body dodged to the side. He dodged very quickly, but Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear was even faster. It directly pierced through his right chest. After his spear succeeded, Night Sorrow twisted his right hand and swung it, throwing Zhao Wuji over his head and onto the ground. If Night Sorrow didn't twist his wrist, he would have pierced through Zhao Wuji's chest. What Night Sorrow needed was control, so he twisted his reincarnation spear a little. This way, Zhao Wuji's wound wouldn't be cut open. After throwing Zhao Wuji onto the ground, Night Sorrow pulled out his reincarnation spear and pressed it against Zhao Wuji's neck. Am I arrogant? Zhao Wuji's mouth was filled with blood. He was so anxious that he couldn't speak. I said, if anyone wants to slap Medicine Valley's face, if anyone wants to slap Night Sorrow's face, then I will slap them back. Just now, you said that you need to have strength. Then, I will use strength to tell you. After speaking, Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear slashed across Zhao Wuji's throat. Then, he shook his reincarnation spear again. Zhao Wuji's finger, which was wearing a storage ring, was cut off by Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow grabbed Zhao Wuji's finger with his left hand and flicked it with his middle finger. Then, he kept the storage ring. Then, Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear shook again. Zhao Tianming and Zhao Tianfei's fingers, which were wearing storage rings, were cut off. Because Night Sorrow was in the arena, the people from Star Cloud sect couldn't even collect the corpses. Now that the people from Star Cloud sect dared to enter the arena, they would definitely be met with Night Sorrow's violent killing. Cool. Even the way he snatched the storage ring was so cool. Nan Liu said. Cousin, I remember that you said that his gentle appearance made you angry. Nan Xing said. That's because I didn't know him well at that time. This domineering appearance is a real man. Nan Liu said. On the Thunder Rumbling sect side, Lei Bao and Lei Zheng stood up and clapped. They were cheering for Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow's heroic spirit and domineering aura had infected them. It was the same on the Holy Light sect side. Ho Jian and Ho Qingjie also stood up. The most violent was the Medicine Valleys area. The disciples of Taixien Peaks area let out wave after wave of cheers. Next was the Crepe Myrtles area. The female disciples of Crepe Myrtle kept screaming. Night Sorrow turned around and gently pressed down with his left hand. Then, he looked at the Star Cloud sect side. I know that this is not your trump card. I also know that you have an alliance with the Red Cloud sect. When you go back, tell the Red Cloud sect that I won't meet any of their disciples in the future. If I do, I will kill them. Okay, back to the topic. If you want to attack the Medicine Valley's momentum, then come at me. I'm too lazy to play with you. I will kill whoever comes. Night Sorrow made a strong declaration. Blood Red Mountain stood up and slowly walked to the arena. I am Blood Red Mountain. Today, I want to see how strong you are. Blood Red Mountain concealed his surname and only said his name. Chapter 383. Genius 1 second. Remember love go divided by little? Talk Web, providing you with wonderful novels to read. Lei Zheng's words were too vicious. Cultivators almost never used vulgarities, but Lei Zheng used words like old ass eye and old white face. This was even more vicious than using swords and spears to cut people. Baidu search AI go female sign shao say www.aichuxs.com. Shut your stinky mouth. Blood Red Mountain looked in the direction of the Thunder Rumbling sect and roared. I already said it. What can you do to me? You're a few hundred years old and you won't let people talk about you? If I were you, I would drown myself in piss and not come out to embarrass myself. Night Sorrow, help me kill him. Lei Zheng shouted again. Night Sorrow didn't turn around. He only stretched out his left hand and gave him a thumbs up. Old bastard, you'll know the consequences of scolding me in a while. Lei Zheng insulted Blood Red Mountain again and sat down. You're really embarrassing yourself. Lei Jun glanced at Lei Zheng and said. It's nothing. I'm just being honest. I'll say whatever I want. Although my words are a bit rude, they are still the truth. Lei Jiuyun said. On the stage, Night Sorrow and Blood Red Mountain looked at each other. After killing 3 disciples of the Star Cloud sect, Night Sorrow only stretched his body and didn't use much energy. However, he didn't look down on Blood Red Mountain. Blood Red Mountain had lived for a few hundred years. Not to mention his talent, his battle experience and skills must be very strong. If he wasn't an idiot, how could he do the same thing for a few hundred years? Practice makes perfect. The two looked at each other for a while and then started to attack each other. During the battle, Night Sorrow realized that Blood Red Mountain was really strong. His true chi was more abundant than his and he also had 2 types of energy techniques. One was the explosive force like thunderstorm and the other was the revolving force. Moreover, the 2 types of energy techniques could be switched quickly. After the explosive force was used, the revolving force would wrap around the saber to defend. However, Blood Red Mountain couldn't gain the upper hand at all. Night Sorrow poured his true chi into the reincarnation spear, and the 3 types of energy techniques were switched continuously. He was still able to suppress Blood Red Mountain. After suppressing the Blood Red Mountain, Night Sorrow's myriad Tao Tomes energy also exploded. His innate chi and the myriad Tao Tomes energy attacked one after another. When it collided with Blood Red Peak's explosive force, Night Sorrow used the relatively gentle wave force to restrain it, and then used the relatively more aggressive vibration sutra and spiral force to attack. Night Sorrow's body alternated between the 2 types of energy, which was much more ferocious than Scarlet Peak's Jin Chi, completely suppressing Scarlet Peak. Seeing this situation, Blood Red Peak immediately understood that this battle was not going to work. He could feel that Night Sorrow had 2 different types of energy. If this battle continued, he would be the first to exhaust himself. Stealing his heart, Blood Red Mountain waved the long sword in his right hand and pushed the reincarnation spear towards Night Sorrow. Then, he moved forward and punched towards Night Sorrow with his left fist. Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear was suitable for long-range battles, so he wanted to engage in close combat. Night Sorrow was also eager to engage in close combat. When Blood Red Peak punched out, Night Sorrow raised his left hand and used the energy-destroying hand. This unlucky guy, he still dares to engage in close combat with Night Sorrow. He must be tired of living. A close combat Night Sorrow is a human-shaped weapon. Nanxing said. Just as Nanxing was speaking, a 2 chi-wide energy whirlpool appeared in Night Sorrow's hand and slapped it onto Blood Red Peak's left hand, who was still in shock. With a loud explosion, blood and flesh flew everywhere. One of Blood Red Peak's arms was gone, blown into pieces. After using the energy-destroying hand, Night Sorrow quickly changed his left hand and used the mysterious jade hands to grab Blood Red Peak's right arm. He ignored Blood Red Peak's knee that was about to hit his abdomen. With the myriad Tao Tomes energy protecting his body, he quickly slashed the reincarnation spear in his right hand and directly cut off Blood Red Peak's right arm. Bang! Blood Red Peak's knee hit Night Sorrow's abdomen, producing a muffled sound. Night Sorrow's body swayed for a moment, then he leaned forward and punched Blood Red Peak's throat. Soon after, Night Sorrow pointed his reincarnation spear towards the sky. A storage ring fell from the sky and landed on the tip of the spear. This was the storage ring that Blood Red Peak was wearing on his left hand. It had just been blown away by the explosion and was now falling down. Night Sorrow put away the storage ring as if there was no one else around. Then, he raised his thumb towards the thunder-rumbling Sex Lei Zheng. Soon after, Night Sorrow stretched his neck and shook off the flesh on Blood Red Peak's left arm. Night Sorrow turned around and looked in the direction of the Starry Cloud sect. Today, I'm in the mood. Who wants to fight? There's no need to go up one by one. Come up together. Let's see if I, Night Sorrow, will kill you or I, Night Sorrow, will fall. Night Sorrow said coldly as he waved his reincarnation spear. Nan Liue looked at Yi Shang on the stage and muttered to herself, this guy is simply crazy. Is he going to fight a group of people by himself? In the alternate dimension, he was able to kill a group of people from the Scarlet Cloud sect. This means that he's good at group battles. Nan Ziyan said. Night Sorrow's words didn't just shock the Southern Dipper sect. The other sects were the same. Not to mention his strength, just his boldness alone wasn't something that an ordinary person could have. The Starry Cloud sect didn't reply. Their rank 4 disciples were all shocked by Night Sorrow. The strongest rank 4 disciples in the sect, Zhao Tianming, Zhao Tianfei, were all dead. How would they dare to fight? 13, that's enough. You can come back. Yu Yangyu said. Night Sorrow swung his reincarnation spear and placed it on his back. Then, he cupped his hands at the various sects and walked towards the Medicine Valley's seats. With every step Night Sorrow took, there was a pa-pa sound under his feet. It was the sound of his combat boots being soaked in blood. All the disciples of the Medicine Valley stood up to welcome Night Sorrow, followed by thunderous applause. What was exhilaration? This was exhilaration. Continuous killing and killing until the opponent didn't dare to make a sound. What was boundlessly domineering? Night Sorrow gave the perfect interpretation. He could kill a group of people by himself and they wouldn't dare to come out. Night Sorrow walked to Wu Qi and threw a few storage rings to him. Second senior brother, distribute these to my other senior brothers. Under the Great Elder's instructions, the disciples of the Medicine Valley added a chair next to the main seat. More X. New fastest TX on %% only the Supreme Elder, the Valley Master, the Vice Valley Master, and the Elders had seats in the main seat area. 13. Good job. Chu Lingxiao waved at Night Sorrow not far away from Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow smiled and nodded. Looking at Night Sorrow's smile, Chu Lingxiao was stunned. Night Sorrow's smile was very simple. It was completely different from the Night Sorrow in the arena. If it wasn't for Night Sorrow's blood-stained combat clothes, he would be no different from a simple young man in the mountains. After Night Sorrow stepped down from the arena, no one went up. The impact of the battle just now was too strong. Who would go up and embarrass themselves? Then, the celebration came to an end. Once the celebration ended, Ho Jian, Ho Qingjie, and the Lei Bao brothers came over. Domineering. There's nothing to say. I won't spar with you anymore. Ho Jian said with a smile. Brother, I won't say anything. I'm very happy that you killed that old asshole. Lei Zheng said with a smile. Chapter 384. Genius 1 second. Remember love divided by go divided by little? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Vulgar? Don't you think it's disgusting that guy who's a few hundred years old and still pretending to be a rank 4? Lei Zheng said. Love go little say webku, it's indeed disgusting. Night Sorrow, let's get to know each other again. My name is Nan Liyue. I've offended you before, please don't take offense. Nan Liyue said. You're exaggerating. How could I not know what you've offended? We're friends since we've come to Medicine Valley. Night Sorrow said. Hee hee. Well said, Ho Jian, you should learn how to be magnanimous. Nan Liyue turned her attention back to Ho Jian. Just pretend I'm not here. Ho Jian said speechlessly. Then, the group went to Bamboo Forest Peak together. Ninth senior sister, Chu Yu, help me entertain them. I'm going to take a bath. Night Sorrow rode his Tianyu to a stream not far from Bamboo Forest Peak. He took a bath and changed into a clean robe. When Night Sorrow came back, the group was drinking tea. However, Nan Liyue and Ho Jian weren't very good. Nan Liyue stepped on a stool with one foot and slammed the table with the other hand, arguing with Ho Jian. What are you talking about? So passionate. Night Sorrow sat down and asked. This bastard robbed me of an or last time. He won't admit that he's in the wrong. Ho Jian, remember this. If I enter the rank 5 first, I'll deal with you even if I have to chase after the Holy Light Temple. Nan Liyue stared at Ho Jian and said. Nan Liyue, we've done a lot of missions together, right? Although there's competition, there's also danger. When have I ever not stood in front of you? When have I ever let you get hurt? Ho Jian didn't know whether to laugh or cry. We're all young people. Sometimes, friendships are forged through fighting. Among the people here, Lei Bao and Lei Zheng have fought against each other before. I almost died at the hands of Ho Jian. As long as it doesn't involve a huge grudge, there's nothing we can't do, Night Sorrow said with a smile. Listen to her, Ho Jian, you're still lacking, Nan Liyue said. Ho Jian lowered his head and didn't say anything. It was useless for him to say anything now. In front of the unreasonable Nan Liyue, no matter what he did, he would still be defeated. Ho Qingjie pointed at Night Sorrow and said, Uncle, I'm thinking about something. With him around, do we still have a chance? Haha. You don't have to worry about that. Once my cultivation increases, I'll leave the eastern Xian region to explore the outside world. Love go little say Kunite Sorrow didn't hide anything from them and directly told them his thoughts. Are you planning to go out? That's great. Call me when the time comes. There's no point in being a tyrant in the eastern Xian region. I also want to go out and explore, Ho Jian said. Then I have to be part of this, Lei Bao said. Then I have nothing to say. Since you guys aren't going to stay in the eastern Xian region, there's no point for me to stay in the eastern Xian region by myself. Call me when you're leaving, Nan Liue said. Going out as a group? Just thinking about it makes me happy. When the time comes, we'll make a name for the eastern Xian region. Every time the seniors in the sect say that the eastern Xian region is the weakest among the 9 regions, I feel suffocated, Lei Jing said. Then I'll think about it, Night Sorrow said. 13, you're very bold today, but you've also completely offended the Star Cloud sect, Yang Lei said. So what? What can they do? They're allies with the Scarlet Cloud sect. Aren't the Medicine Valley and our Southern Dipper sect also allies? If they want to fight, then let's fight. Nan Liue said indifferently. That's right. Didn't our enforcement elder also say that we just need to call if we need anything? Lei Bao said. Then thank you. There's a place to rest here. I also have a courtyard in Danding City. You guys can play for a while before going back, Night Sorrow invited. Lei Bao and Lei Jing aside, Ho Jian and Ho Qingjie were also very easy to communicate with. Furthermore, Nan Liue was also very calm. Of course. We're going to Crepe Myrtle. If the two of them can hook up, so can my uncle and I, Ho Qingjie said. A bunch of shameless people. Nan Sheng, go back and tell the elders that I'm going to play in the Medicine Valley for a while. Night Sorrow, you have enough bamboo houses here. Arrange one for me, Nan Liue said to Nan Sheng and the others. Yang Lei arranged a place for Nan Liue. Night Sorrow really has a good eye. Not only is he strong in combat, but he's also better in other aspects, Nan Liue said with a smile after thanking Yang Lei for arranging a place for her. Ha, have fun here. Call me if you need anything, Yang Lei said with a smile. While Night Sorrow, Lei Bao, and the others were chatting, the higher-ups of the Medicine Valley were all in the main hall after arranging for the guests. It could also be said that it was a small meeting. Valley Master, we have to study 13's problem carefully. We can't let him do as he pleases. We have to push him to the position of the Valley Master's successor, Lu Chinyan said. Yes. He hasn't reached the peak of the 4th stage yet, but he can already sweep through the 4th stage. There's a lot of room for him to develop in the future. He's now the face of our Medicine Valley, another elder said. Let me say a few words. Night Sorrow's ambition is far beyond the Medicine Valley. If we restrict him, it will only be counterproductive. Let him develop according to his own wishes. His achievements are actually the achievements of the Medicine Valley. So, don't worry about it, it's meaningless, Hua Yunping said. We need to change the way we treat him. He doesn't need to compete for the heaven list anymore. Who will fight with him? He was a heaven-ranked disciple in the past. It's not easy to change it now, the great elder said after thinking for a while. Night Sorrow doesn't care about these things. He's my disciple. I understand him. He cares about emotions, not resources. If he cares, he can exchange the teleportation array and the Golden Flames Palace for any resources with the sect, Yu Yang Yu said. Let's leave this matter for now. We'll talk about it again when he reaches the 5th stage. Also, pay more attention to the movements of the Star Cloud sect and the Red Cloud sect, Hua Yunping said. In the next few days, Night Sorrow cultivated at night and accompanied Ho Jian, Lei Bao, Nan Liue, and the others to play in the Medicine Valley during the day. Half a month later, when they all left, Night Sorrow's side finally quieted down. After greeting Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu, Night Sorrow went to Danding Cliff to cultivate. He wanted to quickly raise his cultivation to the peak of the spirit-severing stage. This time, Night Sorrow climbed to the 6,900-meter platform of Danding Cliff to cultivate. This was a position that many late-stage 5th-stage Medicine Valley members couldn't reach. The record for the spirit-severing stage at Danding Cliff was 6,300 meters. The record for the 5th stage wasn't even at the Heaven Stairway. /B/look at the 4th edition. Chapter. #section unspecified currency plus. Under normal circumstances, it was already very good for a 5th stage cultivator to reach 7,000 meters. Staying on the 6,900-meter platform, Night Sorrow held the ice spirit blood essence and began to cultivate. Time slipped away bit by bit. Night Sorrow's cultivation was steadily improving. His true energy cultivation was slightly slower. It required too much energy to reach the peak of the spirit-severing stage from the 9th level of the spirit-severing stage. On the other hand, the Myriad Tau Tome improved very quickly and had already entered the middle stage of the consolidation realm. You're tuning in to the Dreamy Love Stories YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.